We have got former Sheffield United striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk here in the commentary box on Talksport 2. We're high up in the south stand to the right of the halfway line, in fact almost in line with the players' tunnel. There are masses of cameramen either side of that tunnel. The two television companies that are here today have got the umbrellas out because it's still pouring down from up above. Sheffield United are at the top of the Leppings Lane end, away to our left-hand side. Those Sheffield United supporters, 2,500 or so, have made the very short trip today. It's a rivalry that splits this city right down the middle. You really are either blue or red, Wednesday or United, on a day like this. What of the two new signings, Courtney, though? One in each lineup, both on the bench today. Liam Cooper of Wednesday, Patrick Bamford, now a United player. That could add a bit of intrigue if either one comes on later.
Yeah, it could, obviously. You know, Bamford was quite an interesting one, wasn't it, because of his comments previously when he played against Chris Wilder for Leeds United. But no, like Liam Cooper, he's got a lot of experience. He will add that grit and determination to Wednesday. And for Bamford, it's been a difficult one, hasn't it, over the last few years for him, because he's really struggled with injury. I think when he's in rhythm and he's in form, he certainly knows where the back of the net is, and that's something that every team needs. But you know, for whatever recently, he's really been struggling to find that goal scoring form. So if he can find that, it's a good signing. I'm just wondering, can he? It's been that long since he's really performed, but you know, it remains to be seen, and he'll hope that he can recapture that form.
We know that Chris Wilder is as clued up on this fixture as anybody. A Sheffield United fan, born in the area, unbeaten in the derby as a manager. Does that have any impact on today? Does that help give them an edge potentially in this fixture when you've got a manager who knows it so well and knows how to get a result?
Yeah, it could well do. And as you say, it's not just about, you know, the football in terms of him as a manager. It's the fact that he's grown up in this city. He always says, this is my club. And it quite evidently means so much to Chris Wilder, and obviously, you know, in terms of what the club means to him and why he came back to Sheffield United after being dismissed last season, harshly in my opinion. So yes, it could well give him the edge, but he's also emotional. And sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not if it gets the better of you. So it'd be interesting to see, especially as you say, Sheffield Wednesday. It's a free hit for them, isn't it, Sheffield Wednesday? So you know, they can go out and really go for it without having that fear of, well, we don't want to drop points, maybe it's cage affair. So we'll see. Might be the best derby we've seen for a while actually here.
Here they come. Barry Bannon and Japhet Tanganga, the two captains, leading the two teams out onto the field of play. Not a spare seat to be had at Hillsborough this lunchtime. Sheffield Wednesday in the blue and white, Sheffield United in the red and white. It is quite simple as that. And now they stand either side of the halfway line. We'll get a glimpse of the two managers in a moment as well, Chris Wilder and Henrik Pedersen. Now, how impressed have you been, Courtney, with what Henrik Pedersen has managed to do? Yes, the results aren't really there. We know that Sheffield Wednesday are all but certain to go down because of the points deduction in particular, but they're in every game that I see them play, and I've seen Sheffield Wednesday a number of times this season. They've got a great spirit, all things considered. Yeah,
it's testament to him as a manager and also the players, and how many times throughout the season, obviously when they've had so many injuries, had to bed in young players, and he's done a fantastic job of keeping everyone together to try and keep the fan base on side as well, which at times has been very difficult, and rightly so, because they were so disappointed with what they were seeing happening with their club. But you know, hopefully it'd be interesting to see, for example, next season, I would imagine they will keep him on, and when the club has got a clean bill of health, so to speak, and they can really have a fighting chance at it from day one, what he can do with this side. But so far, the way he's conducted himself has been absolutely magnificent.
Well, I can see Chris Wilder on the right-hand dugout as we look at it, hands in pockets. Henrik Pedersen waves to somebody in the crowd as we sit high up at the back of the south stand. A steep drop to the touchline below. Barry Bannon's name is being chanted by the Sheffield Wednesday supporters who are on their feet at the Kop end away to our right. Let's remind you the two teams. Horvath is the goalkeeper for Sheffield Wednesday. Palmer, Iorfa and Max Lowe at the back. Fuzier, Valerie, Bannon, Ingleson and Amas across the middle. Ugbo and Jamal Lowe are the front two. The Wednesday bench: Stretch, Liam Cooper, McNeil, Kadamatri, Otegbayo, Johnson, Emery, Alau and Thornton. And for Sheffield United it is Cooper in goal, Sariki, Tanganga, Mee and McCallum, Peck and Riedewald, Brooks and O'Hare, Ings and Campbell up front. The United bench: Adam Davis the goalkeeper, Bindon, Cannon, Harmer, Burrows, Simare, McGuinness, One and Patrick Bamford. Hi-ho, Sheffield Wednesday rings around the ground. This is some atmosphere here, and it is all live for you on your home of the EFL. That is Talksport 2. Less than 4 miles separate these two great clubs, two sleeping giants of the English game. The current struggles of both provide a unique backdrop to one of the country's great derby matches, and this one has been running for more than 130 years. The Steel City has changed dramatically since that first meeting back in 1890, but the passion, the North-South City divide, the rivalry between blue and red is as strong as ever. Never underestimate the strength of Derby Day in this city. It is Sheffield Wednesday against Sheffield United for the 134th time. Sheffield Wednesday, blue and white striped shirts, blue shorts and blue socks. Sheffield United, red and white striped shirts, black shorts and black and white socks. The match referee is David Webb, and under very dark skies with torrential rain, we're off and running at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday go long out towards the right-hand side. Early header cleared by Ben Mee, and out of play it goes in the end for a Sheffield United throw, which Sam McCallum will go across to take. Well, that was some pre-match Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. We can only hope that it lives up to the billing on the field. Yeah,
and actually I'm really happy in terms of, because I was driving in and walking to the stadium, I thought it's a bit quiet. I've done a few derby days here, worked here, and I thought, oh, is it gonna really live up to expectation? But I needn't have worried. Obviously that rousing noise before the game, and you know the fans are playing their parts. Hopefully the players can do the same on the pitch.
Throw on the far side, which Liam Palmer will take for Sheffield Wednesday. Infield to Jan Valery, midway inside the Sheffield United half. Ugbo holds it up on a terrible run in terms of league form in front of goal. Ugbo. Sheffield Wednesday on the attack though with Fuzier to drill it into the near post, and Mee was there initially, and then it's hacked further clear up over the halfway line by Sidney Peck. Out of play for a Sheffield Wednesday throw. Amid all of their struggles, Sheffield Wednesday, bottom of the Championship, 18 points from safety. They've only won one league game this season, and that was away from home at Portsmouth. They've not won a home match in the league this season. The only team to do that in the top 4 tiers, along with Wolves, and it's just 2 home league wins in 2025. And maybe today is the day to end that run. Ingleson on the halfway line for them. Out to the left, and Harry Amas, who's on loan from Manchester United. Now Barry Bannon, one of the best technical footballers in the Championship still, you'd have to say. Wednesday 0, United 0, but Wednesday are popping the ball about nicely here in Sheffield in the latest edition of the Steel City Derby. Live on Talksport 2. Our next Championship commentary, by the way, will be the top 2 in action. Middlesbrough against the leaders Coventry. That's on Tuesday night, live and only with us. Valery's ball over the top, inside left. Jamal Lowe in the driving rain will get to it. Very slick surface now here at Hillsborough, as you can imagine. Bannon with a first-time ball, lovely ball. Ingleson across goal, takes a double deflection, and Mee very calm on the edge of his 6-yard area to find Sariki. He's fouled. Free kick to Sheffield United, but it's Sheffield Wednesday in the early stages who've started the better, 0-0.
Yeah, and that ball from Barry Bannon was absolutely superb, Joe, because he's on the edge of the box, and I think everyone's either thinking he's probably going to hit it or he's going to swing it into the back post, and that's what he does. He fakes as if he's going to do one of those, but then he just calmly side foots it into the path of Ingleson, who makes a fantastic run and does everything right in terms of he hits across the ball with his left foot, but is well blocked by Sheffield United in the end. But Wednesday have certainly started the better of the two.
Well, that had the Wednesday fans who were packed all around us in the South Stand out of their seats to applaud as Michael Cooper, the Sheffield United goalkeeper, hammers it high downfield. Header away from Max Lowe, midway inside his own half, and then Iorfa for Sheffield Wednesday. Finds Valerie in a tangle of legs with Callum O'Hare, has to go backwards. Max Lowe out to Amas in the left wing-back position. He scoops a high ball forward. Tanganga heads it away. Great pace to these early exchanges. We're only 3.5 minutes in as Ingleson tries to reach the ball in the centre circle. Sheffield United win it back. It is worth saying Wednesday have not scored a goal in this fixture since 2017. 8 years since they've even scored a goal against their very near neighbours, and a lot longer since they won a fixture of this magnitude. 2012 their last Steel City derby win. So for Sheffield Wednesday fans, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has, and they'll be hoping this is the day that it changes, despite obviously everything that's gone on this season. Now, if they can take anything out of it, getting a big win here over the Blades, then they'll certainly take it.
And Sheffield United get a corner off the retreating Liam Palmer, who is now up to 4th in the all-time Sheffield Wednesday appearance holders list. Barry Bannon not too far behind. Corner at the Kop end then for Sheffield United. Plenty forward in the red and white striped shirts. Andre Brooks is going across to take it, though Sidney Peck will provide an in-swinging option as well. If it were to be Brooks, it would be an outswinger away from goal, and Sheffield Wednesday have brought everybody back to defend it. It's going to be taken short by Peck to Callum O'Hare, left edge of the penalty area. Now Brooks from the dead ball line into the near post, and it's over the top by Tyrese Campbell. Got there first, corner of the 6-yard box, couldn't steer it onto target. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 0.
Well, it's a well-worked corner in terms of the movement, but for me this is really difficult from Campbell, because you're right, Joe, you mentioned it. He's on the edge of the 6-yard box, right on the apex by the corner. So you're looking at another 5 or 6 yards to the front post, and he's trying to run and hit it at the same time, keep it down, get the right angle, loads of bodies in front of him. It was just never happening.
And so Sheffield Wednesday escape, and Tyrese Campbell, who scored the winner in this game at Bramall Lane last season, and Rhian Brewster scored the only goal in United's victory here at Hillsborough in the 24-25 campaign. 0-0 here today. Amas long for Sheffield Wednesday, high up the middle. We are only 5.5 minutes into the noon kickoff. Amas again having to retreat and head the ball clear from midway inside his own half. Jamal Lowe, long sleeve shirt on, back to Amas again. Under pressure on the near side of the field by Brooks, but it's out of play for a throw to Sheffield Wednesday again on this near side of the field. And suddenly the rain is dying down a bit, though I can see that there is still some rain in the air, but the sun is threatening to come out, and it's all change maybe at Hillsborough again today. Certainly all change off the field, and Sheffield Wednesday's administrators have said that they hope to have a preferred bidder for the club by the 5th of December. Lowe, Jamal Lowe, in the centre circle for the team in blue. He nudges it forward towards Sean Fuzier. Valerie's made a run ahead of him, midway inside the Sheffield United half. Now Jamal Lowe to the corner of the penalty area. Retreating to win it back is McCallum. He's then tripped, and Sheffield United get a free kick. And predictably, every decision so far has been castigated by whichever team it's gone against in terms of the supporters.
Yeah, always the way, but I think Wednesday going down that right-hand side, it can be a real threat for them, because Callum O'Hare playing on the left for Sheffield United, he wants to come inside. He's so used to just driving inside and would rather play that number 10 role. He gives you absolutely no width, and yes, it's great when he comes in and adds to the attack, but also he gives you no width, and then it's really difficult for him to get back in on the transition. So if they can move it quickly, Sheffield Wednesday, over to that right hand side, they'll be able to get in.
It is quite an unusual shape, isn't it, for Sheffield United? Almost a 4-2-2-2, and then McCallum comes up from left wing back, or to become a left wing back when they've got possession, but it's something that is quite fluid and interchanges all the time. Henrik Pedersen and Chris Wilder 10 yards apart on the touchline, right directly below our commentary position here, and Hillsborough is full today. 33,000 or so in attendance for the derby. And great to see the stadium full again. There were a number of completely understandable boycotts earlier on in this season at what has turned out to be the tail end of the Chansiri reign. 8 minutes have been played. Wednesday 0, United 0. Campbell for Sheffield United, and there was a foul earlier on the halfway line on Callum O'Hare. Sheffield United have a free kick.
Yeah, and I think Campbell and Danny Ings there, both upset, fling their hands in the air because they felt they had the ball and had the advantage, and the referee elects to pull it back, but I think that was the wrong decision.
Danny Ings still seeking his first Sheffield United goal. Crossfield by McCallum from the free kick, left to right, chested down by Sariki in a crossing position now, level with the edge of the penalty area. Andre Brooks will tease it back to the feet of Peck, the number 42. Early ball up the inside right. Amas looked to have been the wrong side initially of Sariki, wasn't goal side, but got to it with a well-timed challenge, and then in the end the throw goes the way of Sheffield Wednesday. He's changed his mind there, the assistant referee.
Yeah, rightly so. I don't know whether it was a bit of a communication with the referee, but we get to the right decision in the end, but the first one he made certainly wasn't right, and that's why you heard what he did from the crowd.
Quite often this season, watching Sheffield Wednesday, Courtney, I've thought, particularly away from home, they haven't looked necessarily a bottom of the table team, and of course the points deduction is probably going to mean that's where they end up, but in terms of performances, they've looked better than that some of the time.
Yeah, they haven't. The results haven't always shown that, but in terms of the way they've played, they've kept it competitive in most of the games as well, which is important for confidence. So, yeah, as you say, with the points deduction, it's very, very rare that, you know, they're going to find themselves out of the relegation zone. I think it's too much of a mountain to climb, but you can still, you know, conduct yourself in the right way, and that's exactly what this club and these players have done so far.
Amas facing his own dead ball line, a couple of tests early on already for the young Loney, right by the corner flag, and he wins the throw this time off Brooks. He's dealt with everything well so far, Harry Amas, still a teenager, 7 senior appearances when at Manchester United in his career there to date, and a regular for Sheffield Wednesday since joining the club. In fact, one of 2 outfield players that they've been able to sign over the course of recent months. Liam Cooper, who's on the bench, being the other. Headed by Bannon. Crossfield to the right back position. Fuzier surges forward towards halfway, then checks his run under a bit of pressure from O'Hare. Infield to Valerie, the number 7. Back now to Liam Palmer and Iorfa. Tall, strong defender. Max Lowe, left-hand side of that back 3. Forward ball to Valerie, who's had it taken off him by Riedewald. Lays it square. O'Hare, danger here, into the area, onto Campbell. Campbell shoots. 1-0 Sheffield United. And Sheffield Wednesday punished there for losing the ball in a dangerous area. And Tyrese Campbell, who scored the winner in Bramall Lane in this fixture last season, has put Sheffield United 1-0 ahead at Hillsborough.
Well, it's a really good finish first and foremost by Campbell, but fantastic work in the build-up by O'Hare. And I mentioned earlier how narrow he is, and in terms of out of possession, what a problem it can be, but in possession it means that you've got more bodies centrally, obviously in front of the goal, which is where you want the danger to be, and he does ever so well in terms of he drives, he goes past a couple of players, he gets himself into the box, and then he's got the awareness to know that his teammate Campbell's to the left hand side and lays it on a plate for him. Tyrese Campbell does extremely well. He opens up his hips, gets the ball across the goalkeeper and slots it in the back of the net, and Sheffield Wednesday will feel disappointed, to be honest, because they probably started the better side, but it's a lapse in concentration. They lose the ball 20 yards, you know, from their own goal line, and they get punished really quickly.
Another Steel City derby goal for Tyrese Campbell, and an unerring finish. Goalkeeper got maybe a tiny touch to it, but couldn't keep it out. And Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 down, despite really it being a very even first 12 minutes or so. But that's how deadly Sheffield United can be. Of course, they have a squad which on paper feels like it should be much higher up the division than it actually is. They will be in the relegation zone today, even if they end up winning the derby, but they are 1-0 to the good, and on a day like this it's just the result that matters.
Yeah, and as I said, Joe, you know, before that, yes, you got the draw with QPR, but you know, they've scored goals. They scored a couple against Preston, one against Derby and Coventry, so they know where the back of the net is. The main issue is the fact that they've been conceding too many.
Down the right for Sheffield United is Sariki with a cross, and it's turned away by Iorfa. It has gone out of play for a corner, and suddenly Sheffield United looking to really ramp home their advantage. And Sheffield Wednesday look very shaky indeed. And home form has been the biggest issue for them, Sheffield Wednesday, so far this season. And just the 12th goal that United have scored in the Championship this year so far. McCallum will take the corner. It'll be left-footed and in-swinging from the near side. Sheffield Wednesday brought everybody back to defend it in front of the Kop. McCallum delivers high towards the back post, and peeling away is Tanganga. He won't get to it, the captain, and out of play it goes for a Sheffield Wednesday throw. But that has really dampened the noise here at Hillsborough. The atmosphere has been somewhat quelled. Very loud in the build-up and in those opening minutes, but it's Sheffield United who've got the lead here on Talksport 2, and really the noise that you can hear is largely coming from the away section of the Leppings Lane end.
Yeah, it isn't. You know, even since Chris Wilder's come back, there's not been too much to cheer about if you're a Blades fan. So, look, they'll be happy they've got the goal, but again, like I mentioned, they know that they concede too many. So if they can get a second one quickly, those Sheffield United fans will feel a lot better over to our left.
Peck on the halfway line for them, prods it back to Tanganga, the former Millwall player of the year last season. Ben Mee chips the ball high up the inside left. Iorfa gets in a muddle, and now Campbell looking to burst into the box. He's had to turn away from goal, plays it backwards, and Ingleson slides in to intercept and win it back for Sheffield Wednesday. But Iorfa looked quite clumsy defending that long ball forward, and he was a little lucky that he's able to get away with it in the end. But it's suddenly all Sheffield United, Courtney Sweetman-Kerr.
Yeah, it is, and yes, Iorfa looks shaky, but also it's about Tyrese Campbell wanting to get there first, wanting to compete, put the defender under pressure, and now you're right, Sheffield United, everything's turned in their way, the momentum is with them and they look much the better side.
Brooks down on the inside right. Sheffield Wednesday with everybody back behind the ball at the moment. United playing from left to right in the first half, Wednesday from right to left. And they have won it back, the home team, Sheffield Wednesday. Jamal Lowe just shy of halfway, 10-yard ball forward to Ingleson, having his shirt tugged by Tanganga, eludes Tanganga, then plays it square. Referee should bring that back. That should be a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. And how he doesn't bring it back after playing the advantage, which you could understand, I do not know, because it's a simple 10-yard ball from Ingleson. And I think David Webber's got that very, very wrong.
He has, and that's why Barry Bannon, straight away as the ball's gone out of play, is speaking to the referee. Because there's the moment where Ingleson, blatantly, his shirt is being pulled. There's no advantage played. It's not like it's a long period of time. You can see there's no advantage, so pull it back straight away. And the referee's had a nightmare with that one.
And so Sheffield Wednesday fans fuming from the stands as the rain returns at full pelt now. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 1. You're listening to Talksport 2. All of the big games in the Championship live with us. Oh, and it's given away! Chance for Danny Ings through the middle, good save by Horvath. Iorfa gave it straight to him. There was a miscommunication with Max Lowe. Danny Ings should score. It should be 2-0 to Sheffield United as Amas slides in on Brooks, but suddenly Sheffield Wednesday are all over the place and they're really dicing with danger now.
Well, again, it is really poor in terms of the defensive side of it for Sheffield Wednesday. Danny Ings does well because he pounces on it, but he should score. It's as simple as that.
And they're in again. Sariki, dead ball line, crosses, hits Campbell, bounces up towards the far post. McCallum is there for Sheffield United, foot in by Fuzier. Sheffield Wednesday clinging on in this game at the moment. Even early on, O'Hare's diagonal ball is turned behind for a corner. Well, we're into the 17th minute now, and Sheffield United could easily have scored more than just the one.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, Horvath does well to recover the situation. He comes out quickly, he makes himself big. But Danny Ings, he has to be putting the ball in the back of the net. He's got so much time. He can slot it either side of the goalkeeper. It's relatively central. He can take it round the goalkeeper. But I don't know why he hits it straight at Horvath.
And that's the voice, the former Sheffield United women's striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Sheffield United with plenty forward in red and white now. Certainly not playing like a team that are starting the day, or started the day, 4 points from safety in the Championship. A corner to be hoisted in by Peck, right-footed to the near post. Mee tries to slide in and get to it under pressure from Ingleson, who's gone down, slowly gets to his feet, limps up to his feet, and the goalkeeper Horvath, all in green, has it back for Sheffield Wednesdays. On loan from Cardiff is Ethan Horvath. And that was a really good save. and it keeps Sheffield Wednesday maybe in the Steel City derby today. High ball from the goalkeeper up towards Ugbo, doesn't even jump for it really. Mee wins that back easily, then he's given it straight to Fuzier, and Sheffield Wednesday look a little ragged in the middle of midfield for a moment as Valerie manages to win it back, but there was no cohesion to Sheffield Wednesday's shape at that point. Palmer has rattled it off the heels of McCallum. It's a Sheffield Wednesday throw, but it is comfortably Sheffield United the better team in the game so far, and they lead 1-0 because of that.
Yeah, and Sheffield Wednesday have gone into complete panic mode. You can see they're misplacing passes that they weren't doing earlier on in the game. In terms of being rushed, the lack of composure, mis-hitting balls, they need to, especially the likes of Barry Bannon, who's on the ball now, one of the most composed players on the pitch. He needs to be able to try and lend that experience to everyone else and just get everyone in their Wednesday shirt to calm down.
Yes, one of the most cultured and elegant players in the Championship, Barry Bannon, the number 10, forward over halfway line. His pass is overhit this time towards Valerie, and it's scooped downfield up the left wing, the far side by McCallum. The goal scorer Campbell chases after it, but he can't reach it. The ball skids off the edge of the pitch, and it's a goal kick away to our right to Sheffield Wednesday. So 0-0 at Hillsborough. You can get all the very latest around the grounds from the Premier League a little later with Sam Matterface and the team on Game Day Live on Talksport. That's underway from 1:30, and of course among the Premier League matches today, Sam will be based at the North London derby, Arsenal against Tottenham, so those two go head to head for the first time this season. And next week, the return of European football to the network. Newcastle on Tuesday, Arsenal and Liverpool on Wednesday, Villa, Forest and Crystal Palace on Thursday. Make sure you download the app to be across everything. You can swipe between Talksport and Talksport 2 as and when you need to. And our next Championship commentary, Middlesbrough against Coventry. The top two meet at the Riverside on Tuesday evening here on your home of the EFL. Sariki for Sheffield United plays a forward ball to the feet of Brooks. Halfway line. Back now to Tanganga. Sheffield United in control of the game. Tanganga long towards Danny Ings, who tries to pluck it out of the air. Touch was a little heavy, but it's driven out of play by Max Lowe. The ball landed at the feet of Chris Wilder's assistant, I think that is, Alan Nill, on the edge of the touchline. Forward by Peck, and a header by Ings out to the right, nodded forward by Brooks, hooked away over his shoulder by Max Lowe, jumping is Tanganga, then it spins off the head of Jamal Lowe. It's a very scrappy passage of play, but it is, in fairness to Sheffield United, they're the team that are winning the battling side of the game as well, Courtney. Yeah,
it's very messy, it's very untidy, but as you say, Sheffield United, they're one up, they won't be fussed about that. They're winning those 50-50s, as it were, and all of these little moments, these messy moments, are actually happening in the Sheffield Wednesday half, so they'll be happy with that.
Yes, I barely mentioned Cooper, have we? The Sheffield United goalkeeper on the ball now. Plays it quickly out to the left-back position of McCallum, and now Jairo Riedewald out to the left-hand side, O'Hare. And speak about elegant players with Barry Bannon, Callum O'Hare is certainly one of those. A very naturally gifted footballer, it would seem, with the ball at his feet. Here he is again, the number 10, just shy of the halfway line. O'Hare, nowhere to go forwards, has to go backwards to Ben Mee, and now Cooper, in that bright yellow goalkeeping kit, hammers it high and long upfield. Over the halfway line, header away by Amas for Sheffield Wednesday. Jamal Lowe is first to the loose ball on halfway. Amas having to drive back towards his own goal, and he's dispossessed by Brooks momentarily, then somehow gets up to win it back. I'm not sure how he did that amid a tangle of legs. Ugbo gives it away again, and then Bannon temporarily wins it back. It is a real scrap in the middle of midfield. Danny Ings for Sheffield United comes away with it, pokes it down the inside right. That's definitely a foul by Campbell, shoving the back of Iorfa. Free kick to Sheffield Wednesday, but no great quality in this game at the moment.
No, not at all, but you're right with Amas there in that first phase of the play. Thought he'd overran it, that he should have passed the ball earlier. I think there was Bannon inside that he could have used, he didn't, but somehow manages to squirrel away with the ball after he loses it. But again, this passage of play just sort of right below us where we are in our position, just right of the halfway line. It's so scrappy, it's so messy, and no one can seem to get hold of the ball.
1-0 it is to Sheffield United. Tyrese Campbell, who we've mentioned was a goal scorer in this fixture last season, the game at Bramall Lane that is. scored the winning goal. And a long way still to go here. We're midway through the first half, but he may well have set Sheffield United on their way to another victory in this fixture. They're unbeaten in their last 6 league games against Wednesday are Sheffield United. Headed by Campbell, flicking it into the centre circle. Sean Puzier is there for Sheffield Wednesday, their number 4. He's just rolled the ball up the right touchline and straight back into Sheffield United possession.
He's been harassed though, isn't he, by Callum O'Hare? And you mentioned, yes, he's got wonderful quality on the ball, so naturally gifted, but he also works so hard. His work rate, O'Hare, is absolutely second to none, and you just saw it there.
Callum O'Hare in his 2nd season at Sheffield United after joining from Coventry. Tanganga under pressure from Ugbo, who ends up on the turf as Tanganga finds Sariki, darting into the Sheffield Wednesday half sliding challenge by Jamal Lowe midway inside his own territory. Now Amas in the left wing back position, scoops a high, hopeful ball forward. Ugbo trying to chase it down, but he's blocked off by me, and then Tanganga with a slightly short back pass, just enough on it in the end to get it back to Cooper, whose clearance cannons downfield, and Campbell is clear. Iorfa gets back with a last-ditch challenge, just in front of Campbell, to knock it away from him as he was about to shoot, but almost a mistake by a central defender again at either end. Again, Iorfa caught out by a long ball downfield, just thumped downfield by Cooper, the goalkeeper, and Route 1 nearly led to goal number 2 for Sheffield United.
Well, he's at fault initially, Iorfa, because he doesn't deal with the ball and lets it bounce, but actually the recovery and the challenge is absolutely phenomenal. The way that he manages to get round the right side of Tyrese Campbell, could quite easily foul him. I think he was in the box, wasn't he, so would give a penalty away, but does extremely well to recover that situation.
Iorfa on the halfway line, and Bannon sticking out a leg to win it back. Ugbo dispossessed by Sariki, and then Riedewald back to me. Ugbo has barely been able to hold up possession, though it isn't easy when you are very much isolated in that forward area. McCallum for Sheffield United, 10 yards into Wednesday territory. Ings tries to flick it on. He's caught by Max Lowe. That's a free kick, dead centre, 35 yards out. Ings is down. Iorfa's gone down holding his back. He was clattered into in that challenge with Campbell a little earlier on. But there's not a great deal of football being played at the moment. Wednesday 0, United 1. It all feels like it is about second balls and recoveries, and can you win it back and then get on transition? Nobody's able to hold on to the ball at the moment, Courtney Sweetman-Kerr.
No, definitely it's not about playing through the thirds and free-flowing football. We've not seen too much of that, but still it's been a spectacle in itself, and you're right, it's about those 1v1 battles. Who wants it more? Who can anticipate the ball? And especially with the conditions, it's windy. It's stopped raining for the moment, but obviously... Actually, no, it is still raining. Just trying to work it out. But no, there's been heavy downpours as well, so that plays definitely a part in the game, especially when the balls are a little bit longer. It skips off the turf, so it's a great spectacle, but it's definitely not necessarily about attractive football.
Well, talking about the weather and the attritional conditions, it is windy, it is very wet. This free kick is a long way out, 35 yards, but it is dead centre. Do either McCallum or Peck think about going for goal here? Yeah,
why not have a go? And if you can get it over the wall and drop it to bounce in and around the 6-yard box just before, obviously, Horvath wants to make the save, then you never know where it might skip off the turf.
Well, there are 4 in the Sheffield Wednesday wall. And this is at the Kop end of the stadium, the home end. And it's a long way out here for either Peck or McCallum. 1-0 to Sheffield United. We're in the 27th minute on Talksport 2. McCallum chips it in high, left-footed to the back post. Tanganga heads it across. No handball against Damas given by the referee. Sheffield United players appeal certainly. Sariki will roll it all the way back to Cooper at the other end of the field. They were adamant that Amas had stuck out a left arm there, and I have to say, from our commentary position, it looked a little suspect. Another long ball downfield by Cooper is gathered by Horvath, but it is no penalty.
No, it's not, but the Sheffield United players were very, very sure, asking both the referee and the assistant, but VAR free zone.
Well, Horvath jinks past Ings, a little more luck than judgment maybe for the goalkeeper there, but he's tripped by Ings, and it will be a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday, who it feels like have really lacked composure since going a goal down. All of that positive energy that they brought to the early minutes seems to have drained away from them, and their confidence on the ball, Courtney, particularly appears to have drained away. And Courtney's just getting another look at an angle of that Amas potential handball. We've got monitors a fair distance away from the commentary position, but was it handball, Courtney?
No, credit where credit's due. The officials get that one right. His arm did come out, but it hit sort of his chest, shoulder area, so fair play to the officials to get that one right.
Having to improvise here in a very tightly packed press box, but there is a monitor just about within sight. 1-0 to Sheffield United, and they have a throw in the right back position on the near side of the field, which Femi Sariki will take. Heading towards the half-hour mark. The atmosphere has been excellent, and it's certainly been as keenly contested this game as you would expect. Sheffield United, with the one moment of quality in the game, the awareness of O'Hare to find Campbell, and the finish was a very good one. It's a throw to Wednesday on the halfway line. Henrik Pedersen out of the tiny technical area to applaud and try and cajole his players. Spoken about the brand new positivity at the club since it went into administration, and obviously the reign of Dejphon Chansiri was brought to an end. And Sheffield Wednesday go long down the left-hand side. Now, I think Jamal Lowe could be offside there. Free kick goes Sheffield United's way, but not for that reason. I think he's adjudged to have fouled Sariki.
Not for me. I think that's really, really soft. I think it's just Jamal Lowe, you see there, he's pointing to his shoulder. I just think he's stronger. He goes shoulder to shoulder, and I think it's a poor decision. I'd be disappointed with that one.
Well, they have lost 9 of their 15 league games so far this season, Sheffield Wednesday. 11 from 15 for Sheffield United. You have Patrick Bamford on the bench today. We've just seen a shot on the little TV screen of the new man. Iorfa hooks the ball out of play for Sheffield Wednesday. Doesn't look comfortable retreating back towards his own goal so far today, Iorfa. And it'll be a throw to Sheffield United, level with the penalty area. And is Brooks going to leave it for Sariki here? I think he is. And is Sariki going to go in long? Tanganga and me, the centre-halves, have got the shout to go forward, but Sariki seems to be saying that he wants somebody to come short. Half an hour gone. No, it is going to be a long throw from Sariki, it looks like. Plenty forward in the penalty area for Sheffield United, and in the end he goes short after all of that. Gets it back from McCallum. Sariki is blocked off by Amas, and it's another throw to Sheffield United.
It's ridiculous, and what doesn't help is then the short throw into McCallum. It sort of it ends up bouncing, and he has to head it back, McCallum, and it's just more difficult, which is fair enough if you're going to play the short one, but just play it to feet so he can play it back to you on one touch and then you can swing it in. But it was just seemed a really strange decision, especially when you've got, it's a big layoff around the side of the pitch here at Hillsborough, so you can get that run up for the long throw. Which
McCallum this time does take, high in towards the near post and headed away. It'll be cleared further by Amas, or it should be cleared further by Amas. Sliding in is Riedewald, and that's a foul. He is going to be called over by the referee as the rain gets heavier and heavier once again, being really whipped up by the wind here in South Yorkshire. A word for Riedewald from the match referee, and nothing more than that. I think it was a challenge that was probably made to look worse than it actually was because of the way that everybody is sliding around on this pitch.
Yeah, and I actually think Riedewald got a fair amount of the ball. It was probably more the force of the follow-through, and as you say, then when Amas goes flying, because it's so wet on the turf, it makes it look worse than what it actually is.
The ball is cleared upfield by Horvath, all in green, the goalkeeper. High up towards Ugbo. There's no presence upfield for Sheffield Wednesday in this game at the moment, as Iorfa heads the ball forward from the halfway line. Headed clear by Peck of Sheffield United. Then two Wednesday players nearly get in each other's way. Valerie and Iorfa. It's cleared upfield skywards by Max Lowe. High down the left, and then a 50-50. Amas and Peck go for it. Bannon chips the ball down the middle. Flick on by Ugbo is a good one. Ingleson chases. There's Ben Mee. Had an excellent game, and he gets there first, and then Jamal Lowe takes a touch. It's too heavy, it's out of play, but that has got the Sheffield Wednesday fans going again. That 50-50, Amas and Peck, hotly contested, both went for the ball, both fair with the challenge.
Yeah, brilliant, no inch given from either, and I love that. And actually those are little moments in the game that might just be a turning point for Sheffield Wednesday, where the crowd get behind them. Obviously it instills a little bit of energy in the players as well, and sometimes it just needs something like that for Sheffield Wednesday to feed up off.
Well, Max Lowe is going to leave it here for Ingelsson, who has got a very long throw, and such is the case that even though it's midway into the Sheffield United half, Iorfa is going to come up from the back, and I think Max Lowe is there as well, and so too Liam Palmer. So that's the confidence, the level of confidence that they've got in the throw, which after all that again is taken short, and they nearly give it away. Ingelsson with his back to goal, the number 8. He's wriggled away from the challenge of Callum O'Hare, who's trying to stick with him every step of the way. O'Hare gets a half tackle in. Fuzier in the centre circle. Rather chaotic nature to this game at times, and in the end that what was billed as a long throw has come to absolutely nothing. Sheffield Wednesday go back to goalkeeper Horvath. He's hammered it upfield on the diagonal, and it's out of play.
It's really odd when teams do that, when they set up for it and they send obviously the big centre halves forward. You leave yourself outnumbered because you think it's going to go in the box and you've got time to recover. You play it short and you lose it, and then that's what happens. You're in trouble quite quickly.
Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 1. In the 34th minute now on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL, your home of all the big games in the Championship. If there's a big game, Talksport 2 will be there. Femi Sariki will get a throw for Sheffield United on this near side there right. Sariki on the near side touchline, and he goes long with the throw high down the right hand side, and it's headed away by Amas of Sheffield Wednesday. 1-0 United lead. Crossfield ball, Sariki out to the left, and McCallum looks up and hoists it high downfield up towards the goal scorer Campbell. He nods it backwards towards O'Hare, but he can't get there. Valerie in the way first for Sheffield Wednesday, the former Southampton player. Now Palmer out on the far side, the right, in front of the north stand. He's given it straight to McCallum, and now Campbell can run away down the left. His touch was really heavy, and Iorfa will clear it into touch. Well,
dealing better with the long ball, aren't they, Sheffield United, when it's going into, whether it be Campbell or Ings, they managed to get something on it, and it doesn't work there. But you see O'Hare, he's trying to get on the second phase, whereas more often than not for Sheffield Wednesday, when it goes long, no one's getting on the end of it. It's a really tough afternoon so far for Ugbo, because he's feeding off little to nothing.
Sheffield United on the attack. It's Sariki. Angled ball to the right hand side, and Brooks now. Brooks in a crossing position, tries to hook it in left footed, and it's turned away at the near post by Amas. And boos from the Sheffield Wednesday supporters all of a sudden, as the referee gives the yellow card to Iorfa for an earlier foul. So Iorfa is booked and walking that proverbial tightrope. First yellow card of the Steel City derby so far today. 9 minutes of the first half remain. Long throw by Sariki and a touch off Palmer. Sheffield United corner, and truth be told, Sheffield Wednesday have not looked like getting the equaliser so far, Courtney.
No, they've not, as I mentioned. I think Ugbo specifically has looked so isolated. They've tried to fly that long ball up to him, but there's been no support around him. It's just been a punt up and hoping for the best. And I suppose the only positive thing for Wednesday in this moment in time is the fact that Sheffield United haven't scored more.
And McCallum will come forward to take the corner again as the rain tumbles down from up above. Swirling wind in front of McCallum here. Sheffield Wednesday defending the Kop end in the first half, already 1-0 down. Everybody is back for the team in blue and white, plenty forward in red and white. Here comes McCallum to dink it into the near post. It was headed away. Now is the referee saying that he wasn't ready and that the corner is going to be taken again. Tanganga and Lowe tangling, and I think the referee's saying, I didn't give the go-ahead.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's obviously speaking to those two as well in Lowe and Tanganga. They've probably been jostling for position, but this is one of the things that really frustrates me. Let them get on with it, and then if it's a foul either way, give it. But when you keep doing this and telling the players, I don't know. I don't see what it achieves, to be quite honest, but that's just me.
Well, it never seems to get through, the message, doesn't it? I wouldn't be surprised if one of them fouls the other here in a minute anyway. The two number 2s, Palmer and Tanganga, have gone to the back post, in by McCallum, and a header away at the near post by Jamal Lowe. Drops to Sariki. Sariki fizzes the ball into the feet of Campbell. Great control, right hand edge of the area. Deflected ball in, tucked in by Ings, but he's offside. Danny Ings is offside, says the assistant referee. It looked a little tight, that, but it stays 1-0 to Sheffield United.
Yeah, it looked really tight because the initial shot, it then takes a deflection from Campbell, so I think this one's probably tighter than it actually looks. But for me, the way that Tyrese Campbell receives this ball initially is excellent, because it's absolutely fizzed into him. Gets a great touch turn, drives into the box, he gets the shot off, and Danny Ings is, well, he thought in the right place at the right time, but maybe gone a little bit early.
Well, Iorfa is kneeling on the edge of the D here, and he might be in trouble. I wonder whether Sheffield Wednesday are going to be forced into a substitution perhaps in the first half, late in the first half, and are we going to see a debut for Liam Cooper? It looks like we are.
Yeah, it could well be, but he's never recovered from that challenge, that recovery challenge he had to make to stop Tyrese Campbell trying to get a shot on goal. Straight after that, he was down, he was clutching his back, and then later on in the play, about 5 minutes later, he was doing the same thing, and again, it's the reoccurrence of that injury by the look of it, so I think that might be his afternoon done.
And I think we are going to see Liam Cooper, because he's getting stripped and ready to go in the blue and white of Sheffield Wednesday down below us. Couple of pats on the back. He's a very experienced defender, played in many a Yorkshire derby, of course, in his time at Leeds United, and indeed a former Chesterfield player as well, so he knows exactly what games like this mean, and not played a lot of football. Last left CSKA Sofia in July. It's his first appearance in English football since the 2024 Championship playoff semi-finals, so match fitness is going to be a thing to think about, but for experience, Courtney, as you know, can't get many better in the Championship than Liam Cooper. No,
exactly. So hopefully he can lean on, and this is what you do when you're lacking match fitness. You try and lean on your best case scenario of what you're good at, and as you say, that leadership, that experience, that communication that he can bring to the back line will be very, very good. He needs to be clever about picking and choosing his moments. He doesn't particularly want to get caught in a foot race, for example, with Tyrese Campbell, so that's something that he can speak about with Palmer and Lowe. Try and get round him, let them deal with Campbell, and he'll be able to deal with Danny Ings, who's obviously pace has never really been his big strong point anyway, so it's just about picking and choosing your moments.
So Iorfa trudges off and Liam Cooper comes on. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 1. It remains in heavy rain, blustery, difficult conditions at Hillsborough, with 4 minutes of the first half to go plus added time. Horvath hammers the ball downfield, high towards Ike Ugbo, beaten in the air by Tanganga, flicked by Peck, and then Ings into the centre circle, straight to Bannon, who scoops it back long down into the Sheffield United half, and Jamal Lowe scampers forward away on the left. He looks for the underlapping run of Max Lowe, and he crosses and gets Sheffield Wednesday a corner at the Leppings Lane end.
Yeah, he does well there, Max Lowe, because there's nothing else he can do with it. It's quite a well hit ball. He's at the byline. He's not able to turn and take players on because of the angle, because his run is in to out. So he knows if he can just swing a leg at it and it come off a Sheffield United player, he's got his team a corner, which he does brilliantly well.
Well, Cooper's forward, not had a touch of the ball yet. Palmer is there as well, and Max Lowe all at the back post. The corner's taken short. No idea why. It has come back to Bannon though for Sheffield Wednesday. They get lucky. Left corner of the area is Jamal Lowe, and he's closed down by McCallum. Why oh why, Courtney? Don't they just pump it into the box?
I have no idea, and I'd understand if you play the short because Sheffield United aren't switched on, but they were matched up player for player, so no idea what they've done that for.
Especially with someone like Bannon on the ball. It's going to be an outswinger because he's left-footed from this near side, but it's a baffling move from Sheffield Wednesday. They've got possession, but they had a chance to test Cooper and they haven't done it. Horvath long again, the goalkeeper, up to the halfway line, header by Sariki, towering header from him. Cooper gets there in front of Campbell. His first touch is a good header clear for Sheffield Wednesday, the debutant. Now Amas, back to Bannon, midway inside his own half. Lowe in a central position, Max Lowe finds Jamal Lowe, the number 9. Cooper back to his goalkeeper again, across onto Horvath's right foot. Now Valerie, edge of his own penalty area. Cooper finds Max Lowe again, standing in the left back position now. Trying to play further forward here, Sheffield Wednesday. Amas has won a throw for them, midway inside Sheffield United territory, but it's the Blades who lead the Owls by 1-0.
Yeah, it's better from Wednesday. I mean, I know it's only a minute or so, but the fact that they're more composed, they're trying to play balls round the back, play it through the thirds, the passing sequence, they probably put more passes together there than they have for probably the last 10 or 15 minutes, so that's something they have to build on.
Cooper again, 15 yards shy of the halfway line. Bannon in a very deep position, not really been able to get on the ball in meaningful ways at all, Barry Bannon, in the game so far, and I suppose from a Sheffield United and Chris Wilder's perspective, that's in part credit to them. Yeah,
of course it is, and they'll be very, very happy with that. One of the biggest things they will have looked at in terms of Sheffield Wednesday, which most teams will, is nullifying the threat that Barry Bannon has, that at times is more easier said than done, but you can see he's having to drop so deep, almost into the back line most of the time to get on the ball. So Blades will be well happy with that, because if he's dropping in his own back line to get the ball, then he's not a threat at the other end of the pitch.
That's the voice of former Sheffield United women's striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. The noise not as deafening as it was pre-kick-off at Hillsborough, certainly nowhere near that. We're into the final minutes of normal time at the end of the first half, with stoppage time to come. A throw on the far side to Sheffield United. McCallum with the curly hair rolls the ball infield. It's a poor ball. Ugbo has got it back just inside Sheffield United territory, runs into me. Didn't really have many options there, Ugbo. Sheffield Wednesday go back out wide. Sean Fusier's touch heavy, slides in and catches McCallum. He's surely going to be booked. David Webb has a look at it, just tells everybody to calm down. Sensible from the referee, and McCallum went flying there. Again, maybe the fact that it's so skiddy on the turf didn't help, so slippery, but he'll be booked here, Fusier.
Yeah, like you say, the conditions don't help, but it was so late from Fusier. You see, he makes the challenge and then he tries to pull out, so it's not malicious in terms of, it's no studs up or anything like that, but he's really late with the foul and completely upends McCallum.
3 added minutes at the end of the first half. Next Tuesday in the Championship, we'll see the top 2 in action. Middlesbrough against the leaders Coventry on Talksport 2. Live and exclusive with us, same night, and we'll bring you commentary of Newcastle against Marseille in the Champions League over on Talksport. Arsenal and Liverpool both in action on Wednesday, and on Thursday Villa, Forest and Crystal Palace. So certainly a week to make sure that you've got the Talksport app downloaded. The ball is with Palmer for Sheffield Wednesday. High ball up and over halfway, with 30 seconds of the 3 added minutes having been played. Ingleson, square to Jamal Lowe, 25 yards out, back to Ingleson, inside left, could try to whip it across towards Ugbo, but Tanganga was in the way with a good block, and then there's a foul by Ingleson on Sariki. Excellent defending by Tanganga.
He is livid, Ingleson, because he feels Sariki goes down a bit too easily, and to be honest I probably agree, but what Sariki does well is he just assesses the situation. Ingleson charges in, hand on back, and as soon as you feel that contact as a defender, you go down, because you know more often than not the referee is going to adjudge in your favour.
And he did on this occasion. Nearly halfway through the added time now at the end of the first half. Some of the Sheffield Wednesday fans milling about towards the concourse areas. 1 or 2 empty blue seats are now in view. Cooper, who's not had a save to make, clears long the Sheffield United goalkeeper, slices it out of play. Is that the most disappointing thing for Sheffield Wednesday? They've not tested the goalkeeper, and they've not looked like testing him either. No,
they've not. It's been really poor in terms of all the balls up for me. Long, hopeful balls. You're not giving your forward players any sort of hope to try and get into the game and anything to work with, and that for Wednesday is what we'll need to change in the second half if they are to find an equaliser.
Campbell looking to raid down the inside right for Sheffield United. He holds it up well with his back to goal, nudges it into the feet of Ings, who's making the overlapping run. Ings wings the corner off Bannon. Good run by Danny Ings, and maybe one more chance for Sheffield United to add to their lead right at the very end of the first half. They really do have a hold over their local rivals. They haven't lost a derby game, remember, since 2012. Sheffield United. They haven't even conceded in this fixture since 2017. An undeniably proud record. And standing over the corner is McCallum. This is going to be swung in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's headed away by Cooper, easily and calmly. Is there a break on here for Fuzier? Tries to reach halfway. Sariki gets there before him. Sariki again goes down, and again it feels like the incident with Ingelsson a few moments ago. Fuzier has had it nudged away from him, but does Sariki need to go to ground there, sliding across the turf as he did?
No, he makes the most of it, and probably what he's thinking is he knows Fuzier's on a yellow card as well, so he's probably just trying to imprint that one on the referee's mind. That'll never be a second yellow, but in terms of the totting up procedure, we're saying to the referee, well, that's a foul, remember that.
And that's half-time. Boos at Hillsborough from the home supporters. Sheffield United halfway towards another Steel City derby victory, and just like at Bramall Lane last season, here at Hillsborough today, it's Tyrese Campbell who has got the only goal so far. Lovely finish it was after good work from Callum O'Hare in the build-up. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 1. Courtney Sweetman-Kerr.
Yeah, well, look, for Sheffield United, it's job done for the first half. They'll be happy. I think that they've looked good in attacking spells going forward. Obviously got the goal, which is the most important. Will they have wanted the second? Yeah, of course. And Sheffield Wednesday, they'll just be so disappointed. I think those forward players, they'll be so frustrated. I'm thinking, you know, how I would have felt as a player in that position, and you're just thinking, give me something to feed off. Every ball into the forward line has been long. Ugbo, he's been a spectator for most of the game. He's worked so hard to try and get onto the ball, but he's been manhandled by all the defenders around him effectively, because Sheffield United are playing the 4 at the back. It's been 4v1 for most of the game, so can you get Barry Bannon higher up the pitch, because he's dropping in too much of that back line to try and influence the play. Try and get him higher up the pitch, and I do think you have seen a bit of a difference actually since Liam Cooper's gone on. They've looked a little bit more organised, but obviously to get back into this game, a lot's got to change for Sheffield Wednesday.
And I think the home fans have done their best to stay with the team, but there's not really been any forward impetus, has there, for Sheffield Wednesday? Do they think about a change of shape, Courtney, in some way? Yeah,
they might well do, because obviously Wednesday are playing the 3 at the back, so do they maybe potentially go and match up? It's supposed to be like a 3-4-3, but Ugbo was completely on his own. It's more like a 3-6-1. 3-6-1, yeah, so it's not looking good. So either you keep the shape and you make sure that you stick to it a little bit more, and you say to the likes of Bannon, you've got to be more aggressive and you've got to join that line. Amas has actually, I've been quite impressed with him. He's actually played quite well. And more than anything, you're right, the Sheffield Wednesday fans have stuck with the players, but there's been moments where they've given the ball away in silly areas, a lack of composure, and that's when the fans, there are the moans and groans, and rightly so, because there's just moments where they've completely lost it, gone into panic mode. So hopefully, from a Wednesday perspective, they can go in at half-time, speak to the manager, just calm down a little bit, just have 5 minutes to compose themselves. But I think that maybe a change in shape to match Sheffield United, it would be a good port of call.
OK, much more from Courtney Sweetman-Kirk to come here on Talksport 2. At the break at Hillsborough, it is Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 1. And what we can do now is get a quick weather report on Talksport 2, all thanks to QuickFit.
Talksport 2 weather report.
With QuickFit, drive away happy every time.
Well, we've got heavy showers here at Hillsborough, very heavy rain here. With temperatures about 6-7 degrees. Leeds against Villa in the Premier League later. You can get updates of that on Game Day Live with Sam Matterface and the team over on Talksport. 6 degrees and heavy showers there too. Arsenal against Tottenham is the 4:30 kickoff. Sam will be at the Emirates Stadium for that. 9 degrees and clear weather in North London. That was today's weather report, brought to you by QuickFit, with over 600 centres across the UK, most of which open 7 days a week, and they're always there when you need them.
Talksport 2 weather report.
With QuickFit, drive away happy every time.
So in the latest edition of the Steel City Derby, it's the Blades getting the better of the Owls. United lead at Wednesday by 1-0.
Hard-hitting football coverage.
He hits it first time, what a volley, what a goal!
Pushing the apex of live football.
And it's in!
EFL Live on Talksport 2. Talksport 2 is your dynamic destination for all the latest sporting action, featuring live commentary of all the biggest events, including football, PGA golf, horse racing, Premiership rugby, cricket, boxing, and all the big-hitting drama of the NFL.
Touchdown!
Plus, Talksport 2's official betting partner, William Hill, is always on hand with the insight and in-depth analysis you need. Talksport 2 with official betting partner, William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org.
This autumn, international rugby returns to TNT Sports.
Buckle up, everybody.
When your country calls, you become everything it represents. It's not what makes you.
What a finish!
It's what you are made of.
What a month of rugby ahead.
The Quilter Nation Series, live on TNT Sports.
Welcome to the hottest ticket in town.
Stream every match on Discovery Plus or watch on TNT Sports channels on EE, Sky and Virgin Media. Subscription required. Age 18+. T's and C's apply.
Amazon Black Friday week deals up to 40% off. Get the perfect gift for your father-in-law, the Deal Hunter. If only he knew about the deal you got on his gift, he would embrace you, just like he does deals. Oh, I guess we're hugging now. Well, that's a long hug. Oh, it's still going. Oh, it's a Black Friday week hug. It's a deal hug. Up to 40% off this Amazon Black Friday week. Ends 1st of December.
The countdown to Christmas is on and festive gatherings are filling up the diary. So make your plans a bit more special with a familiar favourite. Enjoy a scoop of Carte d'Or's Madagascar vanilla ice cream. With its smooth, velvety texture and rich, classic taste, Carte d'Or's premium ingredients are crafted for connection. Whether you're enjoying a festive get-together with friends this Christmas, or just winding down on the sofa with loved ones, it's the perfect pairing for moments worth sharing. Make more of every moment with Carte d'Or.
Every investor has a future in mind, whether it's seeing your kids through uni or picturing yourself retiring in Tuscany. The hard part can be knowing how to get there. JP Morgan Personal Investing can help you see the path ahead. With our intuitive app, expert support, and 150 years of JP Morgan's investing experience, you can start making more informed investment decisions today. Search JP Morgan Personal Investing. Invest with clarity. Capital at risk.
Get bowled over with Following On, the fast-paced cricket podcast from Talksport that'll hit you for 6. It's a pitch-perfect delivery of first-class cricket news.
And that's a beautiful straight drive.
Boasting an impressive strike rate of exclusive big-name guests.
Oh, you little ripper!
And fielding fierce fan reaction.
Oh, that might be out.
Don't get caught out. Subscribe now to the Following On podcast. Available on Acast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hard-hitting football coverage
on DAB+, online, via the Talksport app, and on your smart speaker.
An absolutely magnificent effort!
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
And there is the full-time whistle then. Coventry come from behind to go 8 points clear at the top of the championship. 5 wins in a row now at home for Coventry, still unbeaten at home. Frank Lampard's Coventry are flying.
The top teams, even when they don't play well, they find a way to win. And that's what Frank Lampard's Coventry have done.
You are listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2, where at half-time in the Steel City derby, we'll be back for second half commentary very shortly. But let's look back at yesterday's championship action now. And Coventry extended their lead at the top to 7 points with a dramatic 3-2 win at home to West Brom. 11 games unbeaten at the CBS Arena for Coventry. Frank Lampard has been telling us just how crucial their support has been to their success so far.
It's huge. There's a great connection at the minute. Players, fans, ownership, the work we're trying to do. We worked hard for that. Players take a lot of credit for that because the way they play really energises the crowd. And that's a good thing for us. So we need to continue. We absolutely have to stay with our feet on the ground because this league's so tough that we go to Borough on Tuesday, we've got Charlton coming here on Saturday, and every game's tough, and the last thing I want to do is my job is to relax and anything. So we won't, and we'll hopefully keep playing with the same feeling and the same qualities that we are.
Your side is putting up the kind of numbers that in the past has seen other sides get promoted. hate to ask you this, but is it in your mind or is it one game at a time?
Well, we really can't get carried away with that. I agree to this point, absolutely. You know, all the predictions will have us going up and all those things, but this season is such an endurance test. We have a really busy period now all the way through to at least the start of January till it slows a tiny bit. So we need to keep people fit, form, and keep this feeling, this good energy around the place. And if we can do that, we've given ourselves a great chance to be up there. From trying to climb up last year, that it was great, but you feel the pressure of it. This is a different pressure now. It's can we understand when everyone's waiting for us to lose or waiting for us to come off it, can we stay on it? And that's the challenge for us.
So that is the Coventry boss, Frank Lampard. Next up for the league leaders, a trip to Middlesbrough in second. That'll be live and exclusive on Talksport 2 on Tuesday night. Borough are still looking for a new manager after Rob Edwards' departure. Interim boss Adi Vivash says that Tuesday's game at the Riverside doesn't get any bigger.
Coventry at the moment are, stats the best team in the Championship. That's it. That's where they're at. They're scoring a lot of goals and winning a lot of football matches, and that's where it's at. But it's first v second at the moment. But the reality is, whenever you play, the best team in the Championship at the moment, it's always a mouth-watering game. The fact that, it's at the Riverside where we're unbeaten, is also a big thing, and it'll be a great challenge. Certainly we'll need as good a performance as we produced in probably 3 of the home games so far this season against quality teams.
And finally, one club who have appointed a new manager is Norwich, after securing the services of the former Rangers boss Philippe Clement. But he began with a 4-1 defeat at Birmingham in his first game in charge yesterday. He's told Talksport's Anil Kandola about taking charge midway through a season.
It's maybe one of the hardest things you have to do in football, but I did it before also in other clubs, so I know it's possible. I believe also in the potential that is in this squad, but there are a lot of things to work on to get them to the level that I want to get the club.
Of course, and even if I do say so myself, I think you come into this division as one of the top managers in the league. What was it that attracted you to this job? What is it that makes you believe that you can get Norwich to where they ought to believe that they should be?
The talk with the owners, the plans they have long term with the club, and they are engaged also for the long term, and they know there's a lot of work to be done, and that you get also the freedom to work on every aspect that is necessary to make the club bigger again.
And we were just talking about maybe having a bit more time with your team. You don't have much time because there's another game in midweek. How are you feeling, and what do you want to see from your side going into that game?
More what I saw in the second half, and they need to build on that, what they did in the second half, because it was much better than the quality they showed in the first half.
Philippe Clement there, and for a full review of the weekend's action in the EFL, you can tune into EFL All Access on Talksport 2 with Hugh Woozencroft from 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Half-time here at Hillsborough in the Steel City Derby. It's been live on Talksport 2. It is Sheffield Wednesday against Sheffield United for the 134th time. Danger here, into the area, onto Campbell. Campbell shoots, 1-0 Sheffield United. And Tyrese Campbell, who scored the winner at Bramall Lane in this fixture last season, has put Sheffield United 1-0 ahead at Hillsborough.
Well, it's a really good finish first and foremost by Campbell.
Oh, and it's given away. Chance for Danny Ings through the middle. Good save by Horvath. It should be 2-0 to Sheffield United.
He should score. It's as simple as that.
Tariki fisses the ball into the feet of Campbell. Great control, right hand edge of the area. Deflected ball in. Tucked in by Ings, but he's offside. So 1-0 to Sheffield United at Hillsborough. Second half on the way very shortly here on Talksport 2. I'll just remind you that in about half an hour's time you can join Sam Matterface and the team, Dean Ashton and Perry Groves. They're part of our team today over on Talksport for Game Day Live. All the goals as they go in, including from the Premier League, where Leeds take on Aston Villa and Arsenal play Spurs. The Monday Night Football live on Talksport is Manchester United against Everton. Sheffield United back out for the second half here. We're still waiting to see when Sheffield Wednesday will re-emerge. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk is back with us in the commentary position. Courtney, Sheffield United will feel they should be 2-0 up. They certainly had that chance through Danny Ings, and what it has done, I suppose, is it's kept Sheffield Wednesday in with a shout.
Yeah, it does, you're right. I think, Danny Ings when he gets played through with another mistake from Sheffield Wednesday, he should be scoring that and making it 2, and that makes your life so much easier. That being said, I think they've dominated Sheffield United aside from the first 10 minutes. So yeah, I think they'll be happy with where they are at and looking to push on early in this second half and get another goal and try and put this game to bed as quickly as possible.
Well, here they come, the Sheffield Wednesday players. Barry Bannon leading the charge. It'll be interesting, won't it, Courtney, to see how they set up tactically early on in this second half and if there's any change to the way that particularly Bannon is set up to play.
Yeah, I think if they're not going to change the formation, then they need to get Barry Bannon higher up the pitch. And make sure that he can influence the play, because he's spending too much time effectively in the Sheffield Wednesday back line trying to dictate the play. But the problem is, because Wednesday is so deep, he's doing that, probably only 30 yards out from his own goal line. So try and get him higher up the pitch so he can use that quality to give a bit more service to the forward line. But Ingleson is probably the only one for me in that forward line that has really produced at times, and it's just a bit of tenacity and determination to try and make something happen.
Well, we are high up in the Hillsborough grandstand here with the rain still teeming down. It's been pretty relentless since just before kick-off. David Webb has had a look at his watch. No changes for the second period. United lead Wednesday 1-0, and United get the second half underway in Sheffield. From right to left towards the two-tiered Leppings Lane end in their red and white striped shirts, black shorts and white and black socks. And for Sheffield Wednesday, left to right towards the Kop end, the traditional home end at Hillsborough, blue and white striped shirts, blue shorts and blue socks. No changes at the break, so Wednesday have Horvath in goal with Palmer, Cooper, who came on in the first half for the injured Iorfa, and Max Lowe in a back three, Fuzier and Amas in the wing-back positions with Ingleson, Valerie and Bannon in midfield, Jamal Lowe and Ugbo the two furthest forward. And for Sheffield United, the goalkeeper is Michael Cooper, Sariki, Tanganga, me and McCallum, the four across the back, with Peck and Riedewald in the centre, Brooks and O'Hare nominally in the wide positions, but both like to cut in field, as we know. Ings is up front alongside the goal scorer Tyrese Campbell. Among the Sheffield United subs, we may yet see him, Patrick Bamford today. So it's Campbell's goal, and for Sheffield Wednesday, not a meaningful shot on target so far. Here comes Sheffield United with Callum O'Hare away on the left-hand side towards the edge of the D. Infield position now sets up Campbell on the overlap, and he hits the side netting. First time left-footed, couldn't drill the ball onto the target.
Yeah, he has to do better there, Campbell. I know the angle is acute, but he's trying to go for that near post, and for me, you've got to play the odds and try and go across the goalkeeper. Then if he spills it, you've got bodies running in that can potentially tap it in, but where does it come from? A Sheffield Wednesday misplaced pass yet again.
Well, Sheffield Wednesday have not shown nearly enough composure since going 1-0 down. Since then, it has been really one-way traffic, near enough all Sheffield United. Header off the top of the head of Ben Mee, and then nudged clear by McCallum in the left-back position, the near side for Sheffield United. It's been a typically tenacious Steel City derby, but a very scrappy game, it has to be said. The last Sheffield Wednesday player to score in this fixture was Lucas João in 2017 in a thrilling game that ended 4-2 to Sheffield United. Chris Wilder with a proud unbeaten record in this fixture as a coach. Here is Cooper nudging the ball over halfway, and then it's fed back by Peck, and suddenly Campbell is clear on goal. Tyrese Campbell, left edge of the penalty area, scores! It's another Steel City Derby Day goal for Tyrese Campbell. Sheffield Wednesday once again found wanting at the back, and United continuing their hold over their near neighbours. They just cannot stop getting results in this fixture. Wednesday 0, United 2.
Well, it's brilliant from Campbell, first and foremost. And actually, the ball that comes through to him is more by luck than judgment, isn't it? It's just more so a block than anything, but it's the fact that Tyrese Campbell is alive to it. He's assessing what's going to happen. Where is this ball going to trot? Where is it going to land? Make sure that I'm onside. And when he does that, drives ever so well down the left-hand side. He's clever because he has a big touch across. He uses his body. He gets across the defenders, drives into the box. So at that point, he knows if his defender touches him, it's a penalty. He's also got support on the right-hand side. And I thought maybe he's got to roll that across. It's the easier opportunity. But no, he takes it on himself, puts it in the back of the net. And it's a really good finish. Great goal because he starts probably 40 yards out from goal. But the drive, the touch, the finish, brilliant from him.
So it's 2 for Tyrese Campbell, and he is on a hat-trick in the Steel City derby, a fixture that seemingly he is very much up for on each and every occasion. The winner at Bramall Lane last season, 2 goals at Hillsborough this season for Campbell, and Sheffield Wednesday now will find it very difficult to come back into the game, and their miserable season continues as Max Lowe gives the ball away. Amas can't reach it in front of Sariki. Amas looks to shove Sariki to the ground. A tangle of legs on that far side, the left, and then 2 go head to head. It looks like Max Lowe is dragging away a Sheffield United player by his shirt. The referee standing back and just watching it, letting it all happen, as is the assistant referee, and now it seems to be calming down, but we might see a yellow card or 2 here, Courtney.
Yeah, and actually I don't mind that from the officials, just bringing themselves away from the situation, trying to work out what's happening, diffusing it, and then letting it calm down. So it's good officiating, that was.
Well, some of the Sheffield Wednesday fans will probably be pleased that they missed that second Sheffield United goal. They're only just arriving back in their seats, but it is 2-0 to Sheffield United now. Just 4-5 minutes into the second half. Sheffield Wednesday have a long throw out on their left. Ingleson takes, launches it high towards the near post. Cooper tried to jump and meet it. Down in the penalty area went Palmer. No foul given. It's come back to Ingleson, and there was a foul this time on Ben Mee on the dead ball line, and it's a free kick to Sheffield United. And really, if Chris Wilder had played the game in his head last night and imagined a scenario by the time it had reached the 50th minute, 2-0 to his team and very comfortable defensively is probably just what he would have hoped for.
Yeah, and exactly what you want in the second half in terms of come out quickly, start fast, get that second goal, have your cushion, and then it makes everything in the second half easier. Don't get me wrong, they can't rest on their laurels, because if Sheffield Wednesday get a goal now, they're right back in it and it's difficult, but that cushion, that 2-goal cushion, just makes life a lot easier, and something that again Sheffield United can build from to try and get the third.
And he's down there at the moment on the edge of his technical area, arms folded, and Henrik Pedersen, and likewise to his left hand side. Now he's in conversation with one of his assistants, can't quite see who it is from this angle, but Sheffield Wednesday have all sorts of problems to solve. The rain has finally stopped at Hillsborough, stopped for now, and a little bit brighter in the skies overhead. Certainly a bright day for Sheffield United. Brooks up on the right hand side for them, prods the ball forward to Ings. He's offside in the penalty area, cross towards Campbell, but the flag was up pretty quickly on Danny Ings, and a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, from a striker's perspective, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, 2 chances, 2 goals for Tyrese Campbell. You can't ask fairer than that.
Yeah, perfect from him. Needs to be clinical, which he has done today, and it's not just what he does on the ball as well. He's off the ball running. He's very good as well at bringing others into play, using his body, setting the ball off and keeping it under control, and that's exactly what you want. When that ball goes forward as a centre forward, you've got to make sure you hold on to it and give your team that little bit of respite in the moment for everyone else to come and join you.
Well, Sheffield United will now take their time with each and every throw, and you can totally understand that. Sariki just nonchalantly flicks the ball up into his arms, and it's in front of the single-tiered north stand on the far side of the field. Long throw by Sariki over halfway and flicked further forward by Ings, out of play, and it'll be a throw to Sheffield Wednesday. And Danny Ings, who had one excellent chance in the first half, also had a goal ruled out due to offside, has looked lively going forward. Horvath clears, belts the ball high upfield for Sheffield Wednesday into the centre circle. It's going to be nodded square by Mee. Good composure to the feet of McCallum. McCallum's ball deflection up the left-hand channel. It's dropped for Palmer. He hoists it high downfield. Free header for Ugbo to nudge it back to Jamal Lowe. Jamal Lowe 30 yards out. He's away from one in red and white, and he's going to let Ingleson leave it because he was in an offside position, and Jamal Lowe out of nothing has won Sheffield Wednesday a corner at the Kop end.
Yeah, Sam McCallum's remonstrating for the assistant, and I sort of get where he's come from, because Ingleson, although he doesn't touch the ball, he makes a right beeline for it that drags McCallum out. So it's a strange situation. He certainly affects the play, but Sheffield Wednesday, it's a really big opportunity then for them now on this set piece. They've got to get the corner right.
Corner which Bannon will take. It'll be left-footed and in-swinging, and they've really crowded the 6-yard box here in front of Cooper, who so far, Michael Cooper, the Sheffield United goalkeeper, has had nothing to do, and he stays on his line here as the corner is headed away up to the edge of the penalty area, drops down towards Fuzier, back to goal. Got to be careful that he doesn't lose the ball. Amas, good turn, takes 2 out of the game, but now he's given it away. Cooper has blocked off Ings' attempt at a pass forward, and then there's a foul on Jamal Lowe and a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday midway inside the United half. And big ironic cheers from the Wednesday fans. 2-0 to Sheffield United, 9 minutes into the second half. We'll see Bailey Cadamartri shortly, and here's Courtney Sweetman-Kirk.
Yeah, and I think there's the ironic cheers as well, because there's a foul earlier, probably about 10 seconds earlier, on Fuzier. There's more of a foul than what the referee blows up for on Jamal Lowe, but there we are. I think he's potentially tried to play the advantage, got it wrong, and blown up for the second one.
Forward by Bannon, dead centre, chips the ball out to the left. Cooper heads it back across goal, cleared by Peck with his head for Sheffield United. Amas now, left corner of the penalty area, stumbles his way into the box, went down. Few Sheffield Wednesday fans appeal behind the goal. It's with Palmer in the wing position, away by Callum O'Hare. You have to scrap for every inch of the field of play in a derby game of this magnitude. But in fairness to Sheffield United, they've scored the 2 goals, and they're largely winning those important individual battles as well.
Yeah, they are, and even when it's a bit spicy, they're sort of getting involved, but not too involved. They're tempering the expectation quite well, and just not getting drawn into silly tactics, because that's what Sheffield Wednesday will want now. If they can draw them in and then get a goal back, maybe get a man sent off, then they're right back in it. So, Sheffield United have just got to keep their composure.
Now, there has been something of an improvement from Wednesday since going 2-0 down. Valerie, no foul by Peck. Hugging the right touchline here, Valerie. Peck makes a tackle, and then he looks to the Sheffield Wednesday fans, and they give it back to Sidney Peck, who didn't actually say anything, but he was just glaring at them. And here comes the change for Sheffield Wednesday. Off goes Fuzier, and here comes Bailey Cadamartri, whose only goal this season came in August. Yes, he just stared down the Wednesday fans, did Peck, and then they gave him a verbal volley back, as the sun looks like it might be trying to come out here in this part of Yorkshire. Throw forward by McCallum for Sheffield United, who lead by 2-0. Then Tanganga towering above Ugbo to nudge it away. Sheffield Wednesday trying to win it back. It's a slice clearance by me and a header by Sariki. Bannon retrieves the loose ball 35 yards out, prods it forward to Jamal Lowe, who seems to get it tangled under his feet, left corner of the area, and then he's late with a poor challenge on Tanganga. Referee says that isn't a foul. He's looked at that and he's waved it away, the referee.
I have no idea how. It's late, the ball's gone about 5 minutes earlier, and he steams into him. I don't like to get on the back of the officials, because without them we don't have a game, and it's such a tough job. But I cannot for the life of me understand how he's waved that play on, because it's dangerous.
Well, as you say, the ball was a long way away, even by the time it felt like that tackle was made on Tanganga. And he's still down, and Sariki's sitting down as well. Chris Wilder chatting to the 4th official. 2-0 to Sheffield United on Talksport 2, and it's exactly the sort of blood and thunder kind of game that you would have expected. Nearly an hour gone. Coventry away at Middlesbrough in our next Championship commentary, so that is second Borough against the leaders Coventry on Tuesday night on Talksport 2. Now is Tanganga going to need some treatment here? He's gone down again. The referee's called the physio on, and then Tanganga sits back down. Here come the 2 Sheffield United physios. Well, I'm not convinced that David Webber's handled this game particularly well at times, though of course derby matches are always up there with the most testing for a referee.
Yeah, look, the crowd are involved, obviously the players, it means everything to them, and as I say, look, I don't like to go on the back of officials. They've got such a tough job, and without them we don't have a game. But there's been certain instances and decisions where I can't for the life of me understand why David Webb has come to the decisions he has.
Well, Tanganga will get to his feet shortly.
Just seen it again, Joe, that challenge. Absolutely awful. Tanganga, the ball goes, and then he's, as I say, he's gone a considerably long time, and then he has slid into. I just don't understand for the life of me how the referee's not blown up for the free kick.
Not a foul, supposedly, and he definitely saw it because he wagged his finger to wave it away. Well, there's a lengthy delay here, and actually Tanganga has not got to his feet. He's still being treated. Time for tactical pondering maybe on the benches. It's only Danny Ings and Sariki who've come over to the near side for Sheffield United. Quick chat with Chris Wilder. Alan Neil, his long-time assistant, standing just behind him. Henrik Pedersen, the Sheffield Wednesday boss, will be desperately disappointed with this performance so far. Though, of course, it has been at home where Wednesday have, in particular, struggled to compete this season, and some of that maybe has been down to the boycotts and difficult atmosphere, but Derby Day, full house, there's not really much of an excuse this time.
No, there isn't. I don't think you can use it, obviously, as you mentioned, any of that to explain this performance. And look, you can lose games, and that happens in football, but as you say, I think what will really irk Pedersen is the manner in which this has been lost. The fact that, the lack of composure, giving balls away, the fact that they're losing out on the 1v1 battles, and that's where both him and the Sheffield Wednesday fans will be disappointed so far.
Tanganga is on his feet. Sheffield United temporarily will be down to 10 men. They have the lead, 2-0 up, 2 goals for Tyrese Campbell, one in the first half, one in the second. And both well taken with his left foot. An hour played. Cooper clears long and play finally back underway. High towards Campbell, who's on a hat-trick. Header away by Cooper for Sheffield Wednesday. Thundered forward by Ben Mee. That'll drift out of play. And it's gone out for a Sheffield Wednesday throw. Right by the corner flag. Tanganga still waiting to get the go-ahead to be able to come back on. A throw by Max Lowe upfield. And a header by Peck towards Campbell, headed clear by Cooper for Sheffield Wednesday. The ball squeezes high up towards the far side, the left, and challenging for it was Jamal Lowe as Tanganga now comes back on. And the ball is back with Sheffield Wednesday. Bannon, who's been a very peripheral influence in this game. In fact, he's not really had any of his usual influence on this match, Barry Bannon. Palmer with a big diagonal ball, right to left, chested down by Amas. Tanganga takes his place at the heart of the Sheffield United defence again, and he might have to clear the ball away now from the right back position. He does, slices it high up into the air. The ball bounces down. Ings can't get hold of it for Sheffield United. You're with Talksport 2, Wednesday 0, United 2 here in Sheffield. Bannon with a fizzer of a half volley forward towards Kadamatri. He nudges it backwards, and Ungbo keeps the move going. Wide to Palmer infield. Valerie midway inside the Sheffield United half. Valerie slowed it down a bit there, but he's managed to dart away down the right-hand side somehow. Then a crunching but fair challenge by McCallum. The ball hits Valerie last. Throw to Sheffield United. Hard to see Sheffield Wednesday getting back into it the way the game is going.
Yeah, it is, because they're getting more and more frustrated as well, and you can see that frustration starting to bubble over. And when it gets like that and you're so angry and frustrated, it takes away from your technical aspects of the game. And to be fair, I mean, for all the minutes we've played so far, they've not looked good, Sheffield Wednesday, in a technical sense. They've not looked like scoring or even creating any meaningful opportunities aside from the first sort of 5 to 7 minutes.
And of course, in the wider context, it'll be a significant win for Sheffield United in their bid to move away from the relegation zone. An incredible drop-off when you compare them to this stage last season in terms of points won. And this will be just their 13th points of the season. If they can hold out for victory here, they're 2-0 up, and Tanganga's nudged it out of play. Wednesday throw down by the corner flag.
Yeah, there's actually a good run by Kadam Martry. He manages to get across the front of the defender on the blind side, and it just makes it difficult for them, and manages to get the long throw for Sheffield Wednesday.
Well, here comes Ingleson to take it. Plenty of blue and white striped shirts forward. Cooper is crowding the area. Liam Cooper just in front of Michael Cooper, the United goalkeeper. Long throw by Ingleson, the flick by Valerie, headed away by me, not very far. Nudged back in by Palmer, cleared by Sariki, flicked by O'Hare, hooked on by Danny Ings. Now Sheffield United can counter maybe here. Andre Brooks, Amas has slid in and mistimes the tackle. Referee comes across, that's going to be another yellow card. This time for Harry Amas, who was close to the ball but not close enough on Brooks. And actually, it's applauded by the Sheffield Wednesday fans, that challenge.
You could just see it coming a mile off, and you can't help but think there's a red card pending in this game. As it continues, more frustration. There's been some tasty challenges in there, and I don't mind that at all, but you just can't help but feel at some point it's maybe going to bubble over.
Well, that seems to be the way that the game is heading. 64 minutes have been played, and an offside flag up against Danny Ings. If Sheffield Wednesday can get themselves a goal, it changes the entire feel of the game, but just a sense that they're in the gloom and the doldrums at the moment, and there's not a lot of momentum with Sheffield Wednesday in this match.
Yeah, as you say, they get back into it, then you might get Sheffield United start to panic, but they've not shown anything so far to think that they do look like they're going to score a goal, so it might take a mistake or a set piece for them to get back in it, but so far they've showed little to none in terms of looking to create an opportunity in the final third.
Well, it's a long run of 8 years without a goal in this fixture for Sheffield Wednesday. Away on the left-hand side goes Amas, and he wins a throw midway inside Sheffield United territory. Lots of effort and endeavour from Sheffield Wednesday, but precious little in terms of quality. Amas takes the throw backwards to Bannon. Now Amas again, hugging that left-hand touchline. Little flick off the heels of Brooks, and it'll be another throw to Sheffield Wednesday. Back they go, backwards to Liam Cooper. Inside the centre circle into his own half. Cooper chips the ball out towards the right. McCallum jumping to head clear. Cooper again on halfway. Has to go all the way back to his goalkeeper. 20 minutes into the second half. Michael Cooper has not had a save to make. Away to our right. And Sheffield United hoping for what would be just a fourth league clean sheet of the season, as well as that all-important victory in the derby. Liam Cooper, right of the three centre-halves, has slowed the play down. Back to Horvath again, of course, a third Sheffield United goal, and that is surely it.
And I think they're living dangerously as well, playing out from the back there. I think they get a little bit lucky that Sariki is actually naive, but playing out from the back, Sheffield United is sensing there might be a mistake in there, as we've seen throughout the game, and going player for player.
Now they're going to leave a free kick here for Horvath to come forward and take. And midway inside the Wednesday half. Of course, there's not a great deal of options on the bench for Henrik Pedersen to look to. It's such a thin Sheffield Wednesday squad, and it really has been propped up by players who would probably have played under 21s football in normal circumstances this season. That's not to say some of them haven't done well, but it gives you a sense of the circumstances, of course, with Wednesday still in administration. As the ball goes out to play for a Sheffield Wednesday throw. Well-timed tackle, I thought, by Brooks sliding in. Throw is just shy of the corner flag, so here comes Ingleson, wiping the ball down with his shirt, and he's going to take another long throw.
Yeah, and these are the moments where I think Sheffield Wednesday can profit, as I mentioned, set pieces, and these long throws are as good as a corner or a free kick.
Well, Sheffield United have brought everybody back into the penalty area at the Kop end. Long throw by Ingleson to the near post, header away by me. It'll drop down to Amas, who controls left-footed, back to Bannon. That was a short pass. Bannon somehow gets it away from O'Hare, and then Valerie almost ran into his own player, but Amas has somehow emerged with it down the left-hand side. It's cleared away only as far as Max Lowe, left-footed, and that is high over the top and into the Kop. They were desperate, just desperate there, the Wednesday fans, for a shot on goal, but what a big disappointment when it came.
Yeah, I mean, you probably heard it, everyone around us, and and around the stadium was shouting shoot, and then as soon as he did, there was that collective groan because it was so high over the bar, and that's probably the best chance of the second half for Sheffield Wednesday, which tells you a lot.
2-0 to Sheffield United as we head into the final quarter of the Steel City derby, and if it stays like this, United will be one off 50 victories in this fixture. Here goes Ingleson, putting it forward to Kadamatri, whose early cross is turned behind by Tanganga for a corner, a rare corner for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, they're just having a good spell, Wednesday, at the moment. The last 3 to 4 minutes, they've looked more threatening, been in the final third more so than they have been in the second half, and this is where they really need to try and take advantage.
Well, Bannon trying to provide a corner to help them do just that. It's from the near side, the right, so this will be swinging towards goal, left-footed from Barry Bannon into the near post. The flick by Valerie to the far, brought down by Ugbo, did well there to reach that. Back to Hamas, left corner of the box. He's dinked it into the far post again, headed away by McCallum this time. They can't win the first contact, Sheffield Wednesday. They do win the second through Ingleson to hook it back in. Ingleson now 25 yards out, away from 2 in red and white, but not beyond the third. Riedewald, who's done a good job in front of the back four, and he's played it forward to Sariki, who goes down and wins a free kick, and that Sheffield Wednesday attack comes to an end, and Sheffield United, even with 21 minutes still to go, they're going to feel pretty confident of victory here. And here comes, for a debut, lots of boos for the former Leeds man Patrick Bamford, who gets an arm around the shoulder from Chris Wilder. There was a bit of a tete-a-tete between the two of them at one stage a few years ago, but they patched all that up now.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, wasn't it? Patrick Bamford speaking about that and how he apologised rather quickly afterwards, and obviously you're not to know, but later, obviously a few months, years later, that opens up the door for Patrick Bamford to be able to be playing under Chris Wilder, so it's funny how things work out.
Here he comes on for his debut to replace Danny Ings. Been a very streetwise display from Sheffield United today, your old club, Courtney. They have never really looked like conceding a goal in the game.
Yeah, look, it's not been a blow-away performance where you think, oh my word, how good have Sheffield United been, but no, they've been calm, they've been composed, they've not got drawn into to silly situations. They've defended well, limited Sheffield Wednesday. Michael Cooper's hardly had anything to do, and obviously put the ball in the back of the net twice, so when you look at it from that perspective, what more can you ask for in a derby?
Now on the far side, North Stand side, Sheffield United have a throw, and Peck is doing his best to really whip up the away fans behind the goal and generate that noise that Sheffield United will hope for to see them home here at Hillsborough to another Derby Day victory, having won both meetings last season. Sheffield United not lost a derby for, well, more than 13 years it is overall, closing in on 14 years. Away on the right is Sariki for them, but he's taken the ball too far, clipped away by Bannon. A really poor clearance from Bannon, like a little chip forward with nothing really behind it, very soft. Peck had won it back, but there's a foul on Amas and a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday, who are going to get Charlie McNeil on shortly. It might all be in vain though, with the score still 2-0 to Sheffield United. And there's a steward in a bright yellow jacket who's come across to talk to the referee. Not totally sure what that was about, but it's all ended pretty quickly. Back he goes, the steward, towards the corner flag area. Not entirely sure what that was about, I have to say. As the ball goes long downfield for Sheffield Wednesday, and then it's hooked into touch by Peck. Well, this game is petering out for the home team with 18 minutes to go. Here comes McNeil, as mentioned, and he will replace Ugbo. Well, there's some ironic cheers as he comes off, but I mean, what can he do? He's had no service, has he?
Yeah, I must admit, Joe, I'm not a fan of that at all. As I've mentioned, Ugbo has had absolutely nothing to feed off. I'd understand if he looked disinterested or wasn't putting the effort in, but in my opinion he has been, so that's a strange one for me from the Wednesday fans.
The league goal scoring record is obviously not a good one for Ugbo. April 2024, the last league goal that he got. But he always works hard as McNeil comes on to take his place. First touch from McNeil, back to goal with the orange boots on, and now Palmer from the halfway line for Sheffield Wednesday. Good turn by Valerie away from Bamford, and he's smuggled the ball forward to Ingelsson, about 25 yards out. Good football from Sheffield Wednesday as Palmer retreating to try and control from behind him almost the ball from Ingelsson. It has been won back by Cooper though. Bannon trying to keep the momentum up here for Sheffield Wednesday in this attack. 17 minutes to go and they're 2-0 down on Talksport 2 to their great rivals, their near neighbours. It's going to be the south side of Sheffield that will be celebrating again tonight as it stands. Throw to Wednesday out on the far side, the left, which Amas will take. Very well organised Sheffield United in this game. Square ball from the throw to McNeil, back towards Bannon, but he can't find Bannon. Sheffield United will clear through Sariki. The ball bounces up to the midway point of the Sheffield United half, and now it's nudged forward up towards Campbell. He's one-on-one with Cooper here, and he's got Bamford square. I thought he might look for a reverse ball to Bamford. He's held it up well though, Campbell to Peck, and now McCallum inside left. Bamford's calling for it in the middle. McCallum's cross in towards Bamford, who went down under the challenge of Bannon and then Liam Cooper. And the referee not remotely interested in that, Courtney Sweetman-Kerr.
No, and I think it's right. I think Bamford just goes down too easily there, but I think Sheffield United should have done better with that attack because they completely outnumbered Sheffield Wednesday initially.
Valerie now gives it away. They look to be tiring here, Sheffield Wednesday, and the shot driven in from the right corner of the penalty area by Brooks is actually quite poor and easy for Horvath to get his gloves to. But the number of misplaced passes for Sheffield Wednesday today, it's caused them issues defensively, and it's meant that there's been very little rhythm in their attack.
And I think you see here Sheffield United, they're not having to go out into an all-out press. They're quite happy just to sit in a mid-block because they know at some point that Sheffield Wednesday, under little pressure at times, will give them the ball back.
15 minutes to go, plus added time as the brightness in the sky is gone and the gloom and the swirling rain has returned here to Hillsborough. And the referee stopped the game because Campbell's gone to ground. Will be quite a bit of added time at the end of this game, I think. And a chance for both sets of players to come across the near side and take on some instructions. Campbell is going to be treated here. Must feel, I think, for the Sheffield Wednesday fans, Courtney, that not so much a massive opportunity missed, but it's the way that they haven't even threatened the goal that will feel so disappointing.
Yeah, and we mentioned it before the game, didn't we, in terms of where they are, the league position, the points deduction due to the administration. It was maybe a little bit of a free hit to try and beat Sheffield United, to come away with that tag of Sheffield being blue. And you're right, the way that they've gone about it, they've looked lacklustre, sloppy. There's been a lack of energy, a lack of composure, and the fact that they've not troubled Michael Cooper at all, I think that's what will really frustrate the Sheffield Wednesday fans today.
He's not even really had a catch, has he? He's had nothing, the goalkeeper. Tom Cannon is getting some final instructions for Sheffield United, long highly thought of as someone who will go on to score plenty of goals at this level. And is it going to be Campbell to go off? I think it is. He's applauding the Sheffield United fans, and it's his 2 goals that look like they're going to win the game for Sheffield United. It seems like he's a man for the big occasion.
Yeah, he's a goal scorer, importantly, and when he gets the bit between his teeth. Sometimes with Campbell, I think it comes in fits and starts in terms of he'll score 1 or 2 goals a few games in a row, and then he'll miss out for a few games. But the thing is, he always works hard, he always backs himself, and that's what you need as a striker.
When he's onto the field now is Cannon to replace Campbell as Sheffield Wednesday get on the attack. Ingelsson with a left wing cross, and it's onto the back of the leg of Sariki. Comes back to Barry Bannon. Bannon delivers high towards Kadamatri, only half away by Tanganga. Flicked further clear by O'Hare, and that was a rare moment where Sheffield United looked under threat defensively in this game. 13 minutes to go, United 2-0 up at Wednesday. Valerie's delivery this time into the near post is headed clear in front of Jamal Lowe. Bannon, 35 yards out. This is better from Sheffield Wednesday. Now Amas inside left, forward to Max Lowe with the overlapping run, and now Amas again on the left corner of the penalty area. All left foot as he goes back to Bannon. 10-yard pass forward to McNeil. Good ball. McNeil back to Ingelsson. The angle is tight, but his control was so bad. The ball just bounced off his right foot. Yes, he's under pressure, but he's got to do better there. Goal kick.
He has. His touch completely lets him down, and if that's a tighter touch, he can then get the snapshot off quickly. And Sheffield Wednesday, it's a moment where they look like they had a bit of quality in the ranks. The ball from Bannon, McNeil goes down the side, and the way that he turns, and instead of just lashing it across the box, he looks up and finds Ingleson. But in the end, that lack of quality is showing yet again for Sheffield Wednesday.
And there do look to be some making an early exit from Hillsborough now, with a little over 10 minutes remaining. This is Talksport 2. Game Day Live on Talksport will take you around the grounds this afternoon. Goals as they go in, including from the Premier League matches. Arsenal against Tottenham at 4:30. Leeds against Aston Villa before that. Manchester United against Everton live on Talksport on the Monday Night Football. Sheffield United have it back with Sariki as the cold, bitter wind picks up again at Hillsborough. Sariki has run from right to left, away onto the near side of the field, left corner of the penalty area. He's beyond Palmer as well. He's into the box, and a good lunging challenge by Valerie. Fearsome tackle, but a fair one. And it's come off Sariki and gone behind for a goal kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Now he's gone down, and the referee has to stop it and call on the physios. So here's another delay. And of course, he may well be genuinely injured, in which case, you have to get the physio on if you're the referee.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's not a foul. That's obvious, but it is a strong challenge by Valerie, the way that he goes in, and he obviously gets the ball, but gets a bit of the player too. So I honestly don't think that this is a fact of trying to wind down the minutes. I think this is a genuine injury.
Well, Sariki being treated here, and Sheffield United supporters high up in the top tier of the Leppings Lane end and all around the county of Yorkshire and the wider country, listening to Talksport 2 and getting ready to celebrate a great victory here at Hillsborough again. It's been very comfortable, and their run of not conceding in this fixture is pretty remarkable as well. When you look at the record over recent times, it'll be 6 straight league clean sheets against Sheffield Wednesday for United, and it just goes to show the level of dominance that they've had. They've not all been victories, of course. Indeed, it'll be 4 wins and 3 draws in the last 7. But in terms of clean sheets of late, Sheffield Wednesday haven't even had any sort of moment of glory. Sariki is off the pitch for the moment, as the ball is cleared forward by Horvath, and Sheffield United temporarily down to 10. Wednesday on the attack, but it's headed away by Ben Mee. There are 9 minutes to go plus added time. As I say, there'll be quite a lot of added time, I think, as Horvath has to come out of his goal to smack it long downfield again, and it's a good header away by Tanganga. 2 centre-halves have been excellent for Sheffield United today. Ingleson away on the left-hand side, and he wins a throw off Peck, and on comes Sariki. So United back to their full complement of 11 players. Sariki's got some defending to do with Ingleson down by the corner flag. Sariki does well, makes a tackle, throw to Sheffield Wednesday. They haven't really created anything with the long throws, but they might as well use it.
I think it's been frustrating because that opposite side of the pitch has not quite as much space around the side of the pitch because of the hoarding, so we can't quite get the run up if he was this side of the pitch where the press box is.
And they did indeed take the throw in short, and they've gone all the way back to the goalkeeper again. Hopeful punt forward by Horvath, and it's headed away. There's an offside up against Ingleson anyway, so a free kick to Sheffield United. And is there, as a former player, Courtney, the belief that you can see in these Sheffield Wednesday players to get back in it?
Not particularly. I think it's been a frustrating day. Don't get me wrong, they'll try, but I think you can see the body language throughout the game in terms of when a player misplaces a pass, the hands up in the air, the shake of the head. You can tell that, today things haven't gone their way and they're not in a fantastic spot. And look, we've seen throughout the season how much they've had to come up against adversity and they've faced that head on, but today they've just not looked good at all.
And down the right for Sheffield United is Cannon into the penalty area, trying to pull it back. It's going to be cleared away by Wednesday. Upfield from Valerie towards the halfway line, and a header into touch by Tanganga. A throw to Sheffield Wednesday in their left back position. Valerie Out to Bannon. Bannon with a long pass downfield, a clever ball, headed away on the retreat by me. Now McNeil has tried to steer it wide, cleared away only half away by McCallum. That was a lovely way to stretch the play from Bannon in the build-up there. Jamal Lowe out on the right, but now Sheffield United have got players back behind the ball, and Wednesday are going to lose possession again through Valerie. It's out of play for a throw, and almost as soon as Barry Bannon had played his first significant pass of the day, the momentum is all gone again.
Yeah, and it's in terms of that right-hand side, it's poor. I think the touches, the runs, it's all been a little bit staggered. It's been too staccato. There's been no freedom or fluidity, and even though Bannon found his range there, that's been a long time coming.
A 2-0 Sheffield United lead. Both goals have been scored by Tyrese Campbell on Talksport 2. A little flick down the right-hand side by McNeil. Across comes Me, and he's shown all of his experience today. Shepherds the ball behind for a goal kick to Sheffield United, and Sheffield United will deserve to win this game should they see it out. And they will hope, of course, that it will begin something, having had that international break to reset, something of a good run of form at home to Portsmouth on Wednesday, then a trip to Leicester, a home game against Stoke, a home game against Norwich, and then they travel to West Brom. So certainly not an easy set of fixtures coming up for Sheffield United, but nothing like a derby victory to give you belief that things can change.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned the international break as well. That'll give time to reset for Chris Wilder to work with the players that haven't gone away, and to start then off the back of the break with a win in the derby. They'll be hoping that this is the win that really kickstarts their season.
And it was a misjudged appointment from the club's owners, surely, to bring in Ruben Sayers. But Chris Wilder back for a third spell. Probably not had the results that he would have actually expected or hoped for so far. But 2-0 away at Hillsborough would certainly be a very good one indeed. That's the score at the moment. Peck for Sheffield United. We've had nearly 85 minutes. Out on the right-hand side is Brooks with Sariki on the overlap now. Sariki to the dead ball line, into the penalty area, pulls it back across. Big deflection on that. It's a corner to Sheffield United. Came off Bannon.
Yeah, good interplay though, isn't it, between Sariki and Brooks, and they're always on that opposite line as two wide players should be. So if one goes inside, the other goes outside, and you see Sariki there does ever so well. I like the touch when it comes into him as well. He's got a big touch past Amas, so he makes sure he gets himself into the box, but just can't find a Sheffield United player when he gets there.
Now the corner's going to be taken by McCallum. A couple of Sheffield Wednesday fans in front of us are out of their seats and head for the exits now. 2-0 down here Wednesday. Corner at the Leppings Lane end for Sheffield United in front of the travelling fans. Hoisted in by McCallum. Ben Mee went up at the near post. It's headed away by Jamal Lowe of Sheffield Wednesday. As ever from Sheffield Wednesday, no lack of effort, but certainly there has been a lack of quality today. That's not always been the case this season, but especially at home, they just haven't really been able to find what they need. The ball is with Palmer over the halfway line for Sheffield Wednesday. 10-yard ball to McNeil. McNeil midway inside the United half had to try and wriggle away from two red and white shirts, and he's been dispossessed. Now it's with Bamford. Bamford holds the ball up nicely and plays a good pass through the middle, and Tom Cannon is clear. Cannon can really wrap it up here for Sheffield United, but he's denied by Horvath. Tried to chip the goalkeeper after a slightly heavy last touch, and Horvath makes a good save.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. It's that last touch. It completely lets him down. Great ball into him. He does extremely well with the first touch because it bounces just in front of him, but the second one, it's too heavy, and then because it's bobbling, he's having to try and make something more of it in a different sense, and he tries to chip the goalkeeper. In an ideal world, I think if he gets a better second touch, he's then going to go round the goalkeeper and slot it in the back of the net. But we'll be frustrated with that one because he would have loved to slot that in the back of the net and kill the game where it is.
And actually, a couple of good saves from the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper. Otherwise, it could have been a very embarrassing scoreline today. 2-0 to Sheffield United with 3 minutes to go. O'Hare on the halfway line and waits for the run of Brooks, whose touch is heavy. Out of play it goes. Chris Wilder turns back towards the dugout. But when your main complaint in a game like this is that you could have scored more, it's certainly no big criticism of your team's performance. They're falling apart here, Sheffield Wednesday. Nobody's picking up Brooks down the middle, up to the edge of the D. He shoots deflected, and that's going to loop over the top and away for a corner.
Well, Bamford's not happy because he wants this one back off Brooks, but my argument is the initial ball from Bamford into Brooks is poor. If he's in front of him, Brooks, he takes a big touch, he's in the box, he's 1v1 with the goalkeeper. And again, Bamford's just going over to Brooks going, should have played me back. And if I was Brooks, I'd say, well, the ball into me should have been better in the first place.
Well, there will be a corner for Sheffield United upcoming, but they're not exactly in a rush to take it. You can understand that. More and more Sheffield Wednesday fans streaming out of Hillsborough now. Surely there is no way back, even with what is probably going to be quite a lot of added time. Peck will take the corner for Sheffield United. Takes one or two slow steps back, trudges backwards. And the Sheffield United fans will have a great view of this corner, whipped into the near post, and actually it's quite easy for Horvath to take it high above his head. Palmer went down for Sheffield Wednesday. Horvath is looking for options, looking to release quickly, and in the end he's had to ball it forward about 20 yards to Bannon. Bannon angles the pass out to the left, and Amas strides forward here for Sheffield Wednesday's lost possession to Brooks. Here's the counter-attack, and it's currently 6 against 3 here for Sheffield United. Brooks has got loads of options. Sariki into the penalty area, can tease it across. Bamford, little flick, saved by Horvath again. Wasteful from Sheffield United.
Wrong decision. Bamford's not in the best position there because he's at the front post area. It's always going to be difficult. I think there's O'Hare and potentially Peck on the edge of the box. They're the balls that needed to be played.
It was almost behind Bamford, wasn't it?
Yep.
So he had to do a little flicked, improvised effort. Horvath made a good save, but Sheffield United really should have made it 3-0. It was concerning and embarrassing, really, for Sheffield Wednesday, the ease with which United was suddenly completely clear.
Yeah, and it's because obviously they're trying to get forward and trying to get back into the game, and that's the risk that you take. But Sheffield United will be disappointed they didn't completely put the game to bed there.
30 seconds of normal time to go. Sariki to Brooks with his back to goal, right hand edge of the area. Max Lowe has made the tackle and won the throw off Peck.
They're the moments as well when you're a manager, you'll get frustrated because yes, it's a derby, you're winning games, and that's the most important thing. But when you're 6v3 and you have a really good opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net and you think, right, if this is against the better side, these are the moments that you've got to be clinical. That's where managers get frustrated.
We said there would be a lot of added time, Courtney. 8 added minutes at the end of the derby, but you get the sense Sheffield Wednesday could play until the end of the day and not score. And here comes Sheffield United again with O'Hare down the middle. He's blocked off by Max Lowe, but it's all Sheffield United now with their 2-0 lead. Cannon goes for goal! Deflected in! The Steel City is red! Tom Cannon from 25 yards takes a deflection. Goalkeeper can't get to it. What a day for Sheffield United. This could be the game, the victory that really kickstarts their season. But more importantly, they are well on top once again on Derby Day. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Sheffield United 3, and this is as comprehensive as it could get.
Well, Joe, it only looked like Sheffield United were going to ever be the next team to score because for the last 3 minutes it's been wave after wave. Yes, Sheffield Wednesday have tried to go forward, but they've been consistently outnumbered, picked off on the transition in the counter-attack. Now, about the third time of asking Sheffield United to finally put the ball in the back of the net, and it's actually fortuitous the way that it drops to Cannon in the end. It's a bit of a deflection when I think it's O'Hare is going forward. He just gets it out of his feet on his right foot, tries to wrap it to that bottom right-hand corner. It takes a big deflection on the way through that takes it past Horvath, who you mentioned it on a number of occasions, has been very good today and has made saves to effectively try and keep Sheffield Wednesday in the game. But I think it is no less than Sheffield United deserve in terms of that third goal to really put the icing on the cake.
That'll do it, and Hillsborough is emptying at quite a pace now as Sheffield United make a triple change. Sumare, Burrows and Harmer coming on. Riedewald and O'Hare have gone off, and so too has Andre Brooks. Riedewald's done a very good job today in front of the back four, which has in part helped Sheffield United limit Sheffield Wednesday almost completely in the game. And now it simply is a case of playing out time, and it'll be a very celebratory atmosphere in the away section. We want 4, actually, is the chant.
Well, I was going to say, I think they'll want to rub salt in the wound. I think they'll quite happily try and play for a 4th, Sheffield United.
For Wednesday, this is a dark day in a very troubling season. And they've still got 5 more minutes of added time to endure. 3-0 to Sheffield United. And they are bouncing up and down in that away end. The hold over their neighbours continues. It's been 13 long years and counting since Wednesday came out on top on Derby Day. At the moment, the city really does belong to Sheffield United. It's cleared upfield by the goalkeeper and then thundered back by Cooper. Takes a bounce and will go all the way back to Michael Cooper again. Desperately disappointing for Sheffield Wednesday, this performance. And again, Michael Cooper, you almost forget that he's on the pitch, the goalkeeper, at times. He has literally not had a shot to save.
No, and it's not like he's really been called into action either, in terms of maybe having to be on his front foot and be a bit of a sweeper at the back line. Absolutely nothing other than collecting a few loose balls, taking some goal kicks and a free kick now on the edge of the box. But aside from that, he's been a complete spectator. He must be freezing, by the way, because he's hardly done anything.
It is cold and the rain is heavy again. Long it goes upfield by goalkeeper Cooper, and a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday midway inside their own half. Halfway through the 8 added, and I'm looking between the Kop and the North Stand onto the main road, and there are thousands of Sheffield Wednesday fans who have already headed off, walking away towards their cars. You can see vast numbers of empty seats around this stadium now, except in the upper tier of the Leppings Lane end, where the Sheffield United fans are loving every moment. And it's not just about Sheffield Wednesday, it's Sheffield United as well. And in the context of their season too, Courtney, a confidence-boosting victory this.
Yeah, look, they needed it, there's no doubt about it. So it's not the fact it's just a win against your rivals, it's a convincing one. They've never looked troubled defensively. Hopefully this for them is the start of them starting to climb up the table, because you look at the players they've got, player for player, they should be nowhere near where they are in the league, but still, you know, you've got to go and do the job on the pitch. It's as simple as that. You're never given anything in any walk of life, let alone the EFL and the Championship. It's so tough. So they'll be hoping that this is the start of something wonderful for United.
Raiding down the right, the near side is McNeil for Sheffield Wednesday, but it's all much too late now. I think he has given a corner here, the referee, the assistant referee, with 3 minutes to go of added time at the end of the game here. Remember, our next Championship commentary, Middlesbrough against Coventry, the top 2 on Tuesday night. We look forward to that. A corner which Bannon will take, whipping into the 6-yard box, and there's a take for Cooper.
He's actually had to do something.
That really is the first time that he's barely had to stretch himself for that. It's a simple take, but I'm sure any goalkeeper will take a clean sheet in a derby game. However it comes. 3-0 to Sheffield United. McNeil for Sheffield Wednesday to the edge of the D with a low shot, and it fizzes a couple of yards wide. That is the best effort Sheffield Wednesday have had.
Yeah, and it's 25 yards out, probably 3 yards wide of the right hand post as we look at it, and probably tells a story that is Sheffield Wednesday's best chance of the game. Struck well enough, to be fair, and Cooper scrambled for a minute because he knew it was hit with some venom, but nowhere near hitting the target.
Well, Sheffield United have comprehensively beaten Sheffield Wednesday here, and you can get all the reaction to the weekend's football in the EFL with EFL All Access on Talksport 2 with Hugh Wozencroft from 6 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, and there's a real scrap going on the near side touchline. McCallum and Palmer, which I don't think the referee saw. Maybe the fourth official did. That was totally off the ball and off the pitch even.
Yeah, not sure what's happened to create that, but no need to get yourself sent off at this stage.
Harrison Burrows for Sheffield United into the penalty area here. Got a great left foot. He's been forced onto his right at the moment, and he's had to play it backwards to Sumare, and then Burrows dinks it across towards the far post, headed away by Amas. Trying to reach it is Jibril Sumare again. Harmer, who came on a few minutes ago as part of that triple change after the third goal, and then they run into Barry Bannon. It was Sariki as Sheffield Wednesday looked to counter, and then Ingleson slides in on Tanganga. There is just an edge to the game in the last few moments. We are nearly at the full-time whistle, which maybe the referee will be relieved about, just because it's just felt a little spiky there.
Yeah, I mean, there's been an edge all the way through, but specifically in the second half, there's been times where you're thinking, oh, this could bubble over quite quickly here. So, as you mentioned, I think the referee will be quite happy to blow the whistle shortly.
Forward by Bannon, high towards the right, nodded back across by Cooper. It'll be cleared away, and there's a chance for a fourth goal here for Sheffield United right at the very end. Cannon up against Bannon. He's got Burrows coming forward on the overlap. He's nudged it square instead. Patrick Bamford is there. Right-hand edge of the penalty area. Bamford lays it square to Sumare. Sumare into the box, and he is robbed by Bannon. But it doesn't matter, because Sheffield United are the kings of the Steel City again. The full-time whistle blows, and they keep up this stronghold over their rivals to Sheffield United. Once again, the team from the south of the city have beaten the team from the north of Sheffield, as Sheffield Wednesday's miserable season goes on. But for United, not only a significant victory on Derby Day, but an important win in the context of their campaign, their efforts to move away from the relegation zone. Chris Wilder has continued his unbeaten run in this fixture when in the dugout, and you can't help but feel that maybe this is the day that really does kickstart Sheffield United's season. They were by far the better team. Campbell scored twice, one in the first half, one early in the second, and a late third from Tom Cannon deflected in past the goalkeeper to make it 3. Sheffield Wednesday deserve nothing, they get nothing out of the game, but it is another Derby Day victory for the red half of Sheffield. It's Sheffield United who win it by 3-0.
Yeah, and it was really convincing in the end for Sheffield United. There was no point where Sheffield Wednesday throughout the game looked particularly threatening. And I think this will do Sheffield United the world of good to have the break in the international break and to get together with the players. Chris Wilder, you get that time on the pitch that you don't normally get from week to week. So he's obviously got some ideas into the players, along with the fact that now defended very, very well, scored 3 goals. Tyrese Campbell was excellent. If there's one little percent of me that wants to be, I wouldn't say negative, but they had quite a few opportunities on the break there, Sheffield United, especially in the end to maybe make that 4, 5, 6, to make that really emphatic. And those moments where you don't take your chances against the better sides, that's what worries me at times with Sheffield United. That being said, you can only do what's put in front of you. You can only go and win that game, which they've done heavily convincingly today, and it's a real good platform now to build off, and everyone connected with this club will hope that this is the moment, this is the game that is the turning point for this club.
Are they still capable, Courtney, of rocketing up the table? I mean, we are only 16 games into the season. Is Chris Wilder looking at it, do you think, and feeling that, and he wouldn't say this publicly, but the playoffs is not impossible?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. We know how this league can be in terms of being unpredictable, and if you put a few runs together here and there, and the next thing you know, you're potentially, as you say, in a playoff place. So I don't think that's out of the realms of possibility. Don't get me wrong, they're going to have to work hard, score a lot of goals and win a lot of games to get there, Sheffield United, but it is possible, because in the Championship, as we know, Joe, anything is possible.
Well, they are celebrating in front of the Sheffield United fans at the moment, the players and coaching staff. A great day for the Blades. For Sheffield Wednesday, it's been really back to the drawing board the whole season in terms of points, and I don't think anybody really backs them to escape the relegation zone because of the points deduction that they've had. But how disappointing will it be for the fans, because this was meant to be maybe that one game in the season that they could really enjoy, and they tried, but they just didn't turn up, did they?
Yeah, you're exactly right with that, and it's frustrating because of the manner of the defeat. I wouldn't say there was a lack of effort there, but there was certainly a lack of quality, a lack of composure. You see, after the first Sheffield United goal, after they conceded that Sheffield Wednesday, they panicked, they were misplacing passes, and there are elements of the game where I don't think Sheffield United necessarily had to play really well to beat Wednesday today. It was a mix of defensively being good, Sheffield United, but then being given opportunities by Wednesday. Those misplaced passes, those issues at the back. So that's what will really frustrate the fans, and especially, as you mentioned, on Derby Day, that was the one thing that they were holding on for this season, to maybe get a win over the big rivals in Sheffield United. But it's back to the drawing board, and they'll look at themselves after this Wednesday, because they'll be very disappointed.
Well, it's all gone wrong for Sheffield Wednesday today. They, of course, remain very much rooted to the foot of the championship table. That wasn't going to change regardless of what happened today. But there's a team photo taking place on the Hillsborough pitch. The Sheffield United players and staff are standing on the edge of the penalty area, and with the fans as the backdrop, that team photo is being taken. And look at Chris Wilder, another game without a defeat in this fixture, and he waves to the Sheffield United fans, and it's almost a nonchalant pose from Chris Wilder. He's looking very relaxed, standing at the edge of that sort of wall of players. And just a final one on Chris Wilder. Credit to him today, Courtney. It's not all down to him, but he knows and appreciates this fixture more than anyone else. And Sheffield United haven't turned up aplenty this season, but they definitely turned up today.
Yeah, well, he knows this fixture, he knows this club, and better than anyone knows this city, so he knows what it means and how it can change your fortunes, how it can galvanise the club, how it can bring you closer to the fans. And rightly so, these players, they're all taking it in right now, and you need to take these moments because they don't come very often in football. They go quickly, more quickly than you realise. So yes, the players need to take it in, and this now needs to be a platform to step forward, to win more games, and as you say, aim for those playoff places.
Courtney, thank you very much indeed. Enjoyed it as ever. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, former Sheffield United women's striker, alongside me here at Hillsborough. Sheffield United, by the way, moved within a point of Oxford in the Championship relegation zone, so a point away from safety. Sheffield United, Wednesday, of course, stay rooted to the bottom of the table. 18 points, the gap to safety for Sheffield Wednesday. Don't forget, Tuesday night, our next live championship commentary. Middlesbrough in second against Coventry, the league leaders. Lots of European football on the network next week as well. Tomorrow night, a full review of the weekend's action in the EFL. EFL All Access with Hugh Wozencroft from 6. Right now, over on Talksport, it's Game Day Live with Sam Matterface. Coming up next here on Talksport 2, it's Up Front with Gabby Agbonlahor.